welcome to another episode of Original Box Sets Deadlands.
Bum, bum, bum.
Let's check, make sure we can be heard. Yep, I do see the microphones moving, and I already did a mic check for everybody else, so we should be good to go. Audience, if you can't hear us, let us know. I don't know, sounds good. I'm Max, the marshal for this game of Deadlands, one of the original edition, if you're in question. With me today, I have James playing Father Cross.
How's it going?
I have Sarah playing Anne McDade.
Howdy, y'all.
And I have Rusty playing Ollie the Hexslinger.
There we go. We got him right this time. What's up, everybody?
And I hope that clears everything up, and next time I get a chance to see you, I won't have an embarrassing moment of being your little French girl.
Oh no, that's gonna happen. Social distancing, be damned.
Nice.
Miss Lorraine lives on.
Which, speaking of what happens, today is going to be final episode for this game, episode 11. When we get finished with this, I am definitely reaching out to Thomas and being like, Thomas, teach me. I have free time now. So that will be fun to learn French.
He'll enjoy that. He's been very patient teaching me so far. So
Excellent. I look forward to that opportunity. All right, where are my notes? Here are my notes. Cool.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Max won't be able to bat his eyes and cry and give him the pouty lip.
that's what I can teach him. So Thomas
Sure,
will teach him
sure
French.
he can.
I'm pretty sure I can do all that.
Yeah, who says Max can't?
This game session, no pouty eyes and blubbering lips and whatnot. Dry eyes only. Last we left, the group was in shit hit the fan. The train ride to Dodge has gone pretty far south, and the conductor has become a minion of darkness, as he seems to be possessed. His mere presence seems to be altering the train itself, and the world has seemed to gone a little bit haywire. Mrs. Thompson's husband has got up and started walking around, and Anne McDade has attempted to redecorate the center of the train aisle to avoid prying eyes from noticing the dead walking, which is irony in the fact which side she's on the curtain.
Yeah.
Father Cross ended last session by pulling a gun on an unarmed man. No, he was armed. He is armed. He had a plate of flapjacks. Father Cross has drawn a gun on an unarmed man, and we ended game session at him claiming he was going to pull the trigger.
I'm still tempted to have you eat them because I want to see what happens.
The bullets?
There's a lot of carbs in there.
Oh, the flapjacks.
I feel like these are very ominous flapjacks, and
Flapjacks of evilness.
yeah, the scientist in me wants to see. Well, let's see what happens.
I can't disagree with that. I like experimentation. All right. So,
How about we start with drawing some chips?
I think that's a wonderful idea. Checking on the list of the stream boss was recently defeated, so we have a brand new, fresh stream boss today. 3,000 hit points. Bits, chips, and whatnot will allow the audience to defeat the stream boss called the Trail Boss. And the Trail Boss, once gets defeated, that audience member will be able to devote 3 chips, however they see fit, to one of the posse members or myself, the marshal. Of course, I spend my chips to assist the NPCs out.
I just want to point out, I just drew my 3 chips, and I drew a red and 2 blue.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right. Guess we're gonna be going out with a bang.
Well, I just recently shuffled the deck of chips, so maybe that's to your advantage. I probably am going to get a boatload of white.
Yay!
I got
White
nothing
for
but
Max.
white ones. I just want to remind Max that he can spend his chips on any NPCs. It doesn't have to be the adversarial ones. Just rules as written, you could help out friendlies with those too. I don't want you to feel
He could spend
obliged.
them on the PCs if he wanted to.
Bixby could make his persuasion roll with Anna again and really get some benefits there.
Wait for the man to heal, woman.
No.
I already healed him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Preacher, on the side of premarital sex, you're going to get in trouble.
Who says I didn't marry them without them realizing? I am ordained, remember?
I'm pretty sure that would be frowned upon by your Lord and Savior.
It is.
Well, it is till death do you part, so.
Been there, done that.
Alrighty then, making sure I got the right page going on here. Alright, so making sure everything looks good. Everything looks good. Alright. So, Father Cross, you've decided to ventilate, provide extra air conditioning to Mr. Lockett's head. And that's where we're starting off. Hopefully, you draw enough cards necessary to go faster than Mr. Lockett. This game session is probably going to be rather intense with a lot of combat. Hopefully we don't drudge things down too much. We have had 10 game sessions of practicing the system, so let's get to it. The first thing we're going to need to do is a quickness test by the players and all the NPCs involved. Mr. Lockett is the only NPC who seems to be engaged in the combat. He has a whopping D6 to roll for his quickness.
As I recall, I'm a train car away, but moving towards the hubbub. Should I go ahead and roll initiative, or do you want me to just wait around, or what sounds good?
Let's wait around, because rounds go pretty quickly as far as it goes for in-game time. Your character's going to hear the priest killing a man in cold blood, so you'll have a chance to respond. Now, of course, Anna's there, but she's behind a curtain. Or the whole thing's behind a curtain. So most she's going to see is a blood splatter go spraying across that sheet she's got held up.
I am not killing a man in cold blood. He looks congested. I'm trying to help him with that.
And whatever helps you sleep at night. Did I do that right? Did I write that right? Nope. I did something wrong.
No, it looks like you wrote it right.
You wrote it right.
If you were out to roll 1d6, good job.
Yeah.
Well, now we've got a copy of it in the chat for other people to utilize. Excellent. All right, so he's got a 5, so he's going to get 2 cards. All right, so for the audience, we're going to slide on over to our Roll20 screen, and that way you guys can see dice rolls and chips flying and stuff like that. There we go. But you won't see our pretty faces. So I get to draw 2 cards. Deal myself 2 cards. James, how many cards did you get? You got 2 cards as well.
Yes, I did.
And you're hearing the commotion, so you're not seeing it. I don't think you can.
So I should be. Oh yeah, because so I'm kind of blocking my vision from James as well, correct?
Yes, you have the sheet up.
But I did cock the hammer of my peacemaker, so I'm pretty sure she knows what's about to happen.
There's a lot going on. There's people yelling. There's a train car. The sounds of hell. I I'd require a cognition check to be able to recognize the sound of a hammer over all that other noise.
I'm happy to do that.
I'm going to make it an incredible of 11. Not that I don't want her to hear it. I just think it should be really hard.
Cognition, correct?
Cognition.
Yep.
Ooh, with my 46, I managed to get an 8, but not enough.
I believe your attention is pretty much locked on Miss Thompson, who's calling out for her husband, Arnold, going, "Is that Arnold? Do I hear Arnold?" And Arnold saying, "Danielle?" But if I remember correctly, you kicked him into one of like the side.
I kicked her into one of the side compartments and told Bixby to keep her there.
That's right.
You hip checked her.
I did hip check her. Right. And when I hip check someone, they go, they bounce.
Excellent. All right, so I'm going to take a look here at my cards. Ooh. My cards look good. James, you ready?
Yes, I do.
All right, ace, king. All right, I go first.
Yep.
He's going to take that card and he's going to slide that card onto the table. As you pull the hammer back and the notion passes through your mind, he's going to take his hand, put it up to the side of your pistol, and push your pistol to one side. There's no dice rolls involved in that, but basically he's pushed your pistol out of the way, so when you pull the trigger, you're not going to blow his brains out. And he'll say, because speaking is part of a free action, or in concept of the game system, he says, "You're about to kill me. I'm unarmed. How unfair. Let's even this." And when he says that, there's a massive, like, whistle sound and then a thunderous boom. The back end of the train cars, you know how when you look down a train, you can see all the doors kind of line up, but if they shake or anything, they move back and forth and so on and so forth. The train car behind him, maybe behind him even farther, they all begin swaying back and forth violently, as if something just shook the train, moved the train, or hit it. And he says, "Oh, looks like the new engineer is here to run the train to its final destination." That's his action. Behind him, something becomes shaking the train, and some loud sound is now heading in this direction. All right, king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7.
8 of hearts.
8 of hearts. Now the gun's been pushed out of the way of his face, which you had it pointed at and everything. It was words I was about to say. That doesn't mean you can't shoot. What's that?
Was it good job, James? Problem solved. End of this episode.
You can still point the gun at him and pull the trigger. It's just now it's going to require more of an effort to hit the head location.
All right. So he took one hand or both hands to do that.
Just one hand.
Just one hand?
Just one hand.
Well, with my right hand, I'm going to quick draw my other peacemaker and shoot him from the hip.
You're going to need to make a quick draw roll and beat a 5.
Nine for the quick draw.
Excellent. You're able to quick draw the pistol. No penalties.
Well, since that is my right hand, I'm suffering a -1. With the use of that hand, it'd be an 8, but you said 5 for the die.
Yes. Good remembering about your wound.
And here's the shot, and I've got location toggled already, so. Oh, that's for the damage.
Okay. There we go, with 6.
That's... Yeah.
Is that with the -1?
No.
So it's a 5.
It's a 5, yep.
Perfectly fine. Still hits. That's all you really need to shoot somebody from this distance. Let's go ahead and roll location. You get a +2 because of how close you are in your attempts to shoot him in the noggin. I don't have my little cheat sheet out. I should get it.
Okay. It was a 5 on the roll. 7, since you said +2.
Still.
Right. So damage is going to be a 10 to whatever location.
That's still going to be the guts. So you quick draw your... Do you want to describe it real quick?
Yes. As he reaches out and he grabs the peacemaker I've got aimed at his face, I'll fight against it. And at that moment that it's starting, the lineup of it is starting to get to the point that I know I'm going to miss him. I just reach down to my belt for my primary gun, pull it, and shoot from the hip. Same as I've seen Ollie do a couple of times with his pistols.
And only one of those was at Anna McDade.
Never forget that.
I didn't see that one.
I mean, I told everybody later I was aiming at the monster thing, but yeah, whatever.
I mean, both are true.
All right. 2 points of damage to his guts. Let me go ahead and write that down. And what's your reaction to the sound of a gun going off right behind this curtain? By the way, still, backsplatter, things hit the curtain from this side. You definitely can, you know that somebody shot somebody else on the other side.
Crap. How far am I from the door? Like, to the compartment where, Ollie is?
Ollie's in the next train car over.
Right. How far am I from that door that leads to that train car?
About 5 booths or 15 feet.
And are there still lots of people on this car trying to get off?
Not as much as you... Yeah, probably, I'm going to say about 4 or 5 at this point in time. With the assistance of the brothers moving forward to help people get off, it's sped up the process of getting people off. So right now, Daniels, Bigsby, and 2 nondescript individuals will pick the accountant, and that's all I got. The accountant and someone else.
Okay. I'm going to quickly look around side to side. Is there anything I can drape the sheet over, like toss it over so that most of the view is blocked anyway?
No.
Frick.
Nothing that convenient.
Okay. Then all I'm going to do is take a peek behind the sheet myself and make sure that Father Cross has this handled. If he doesn't, I'll drop it and help.
Well, peeking around the edge of the sheet, you definitely see that Father Cross has got his both guns out. Right now, it looks like he is caught in a melee with the red-eyed conductor, and Arnold is right next to you. So when you pull the sheet back, you get a view of Father Cross and the red-eyed conductor. But Arnold is right there, and he sees you. His face is rather distorted and looks rather angry. So he's moved up to the curtain at this point in time. Looks like he was ready to rip it back.
All right. Then I'm going to start pressing backwards since I'm holding the thing up to get the final people out of the car. But I'm going to hold action until I can get that door closed.
Oh, right.
And then if Ollie or whoever wants to come in, that's fine. But I'm not going to wrench it. But at least I got to block the view as best I can.
All right. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
4 diamonds.
4. All right. You fire into his gut, and he just looks at you, bewildered. It's definitely a painful moment. You can see his face winces, and in disbelief that you actually did it. And so what do you want to do on a 4?
Pull the trigger again.
All right. You can pull that trigger multiple times in one round.
Oh, that's right. I have a double action pistol, so I can. I'm going to use my rate of fire to its full ability on that card.
All right. Do it. Let's get that action finished as quick as possible.
All right. First shot is at a 9. 8, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Second shot's at a 9.
Excellent. Both of the shots will hit. Go ahead and resolve them now. Because he's just standing there, and his next card doesn't come around till 2. So he's not looking to dodge because he's in disbelief. And I'm not looking to change that as far as it goes for game mechanics, because he really didn't expect a Man of the Cloth to be so violent.
And am I still going with the +2?
Yes, because you're
All right. Location 8, damage 7. I'll roll the wind here as soon as I get both of them done.
Sure.
Second one is location 5 with 13 damage.
Okay. So 1 wind wound, 2 wounds, so a total of 3 wounds. Go ahead and do that wind damage for all 5 wounds. Which, by the way, all your shots go into his lower guts.
24.
Awesome. Yes. You definitely put him down. You blew out his midsection, and he's going to the ground. Fanning from the side, as you do, with your pistol still in the holster. At the end of the round, on his action, his final action for this round, he is on the ground. He's gasping. He looks confused, and he looks up to Arnold and says, "Help me," to Arnold, who seems kind of like shocked that you shot the priest. That the priest shot him, and the conductor's like, "He killed me," and Arnold said, "He killed the conductor. What the hell?" And now Arnold's reaching out to grab a hold of you on the following round. His attention has turned to you. The train cars behind him are still rocking. Let's move over to Ollie.
I haven't rolled initiative yet,
Right.
so Ollie is just making his way towards the trouble.
Oh, right.
When last we left off.
So this round, everybody's going to get initiative. So make your quickness rolls.
Alrighty.
Oops.
Unsurprisingly, the result of a 0d8 roll is not terribly impressive.
Oh, well, guess it means you don't get cards.
I just get the fuse cards.
I don't like that you got to roll that twice. Or 3 times.
Yes, yeah. I rolled 3 different initiatives.
If you keep going, he's just going to keep rolling it. Stop.
1, 2, 3, 2. 6. Alrighty then. Everybody got their cards?
Yup.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. All right. Top of the initiative, Ace. All right. Arnold, being exasperated, suddenly oh my God, reaches past what he would, turns around and grabs a hold of the preacher around the throat. Just grapple from behind. So he's going to make his unarmed attack roll.
I'd like to dodge that.
Sure. Let's see. Striking from behind gets him a modifier of some type. Where's that at? There we go. It's +2. Got a 12.
A 12. Nice.
He's going to grapple you around the throat with his big old hands.
Now, since the audience is seeing our roll 20, that someone might notice that I am rolling my faith check. I just picked up an ability between last session and this one called Refuge of Faith, that I can use my faith roll instead of dodge or fighting, but modifiers are still the same.
Ooh, nice.
And I got an 11.
Ooh, missed it by 1.
Yep.
All right. So the strong hand, the farm hand, Arnold Thompson, reaches out and strikes you around the throat. Now, of course, it's a +4, +2. He's striking you, and I said he's calling to choke you, and I made a mistake because I did a called shot for the head, which is a -6. So he actually got a 6 and not a 12. So describe how you dodge this.
All right.
With faith.
In hearing the two of them talk to each other, I stepped to do a half turn, and seeing Arnold come at me, I pulled back as I'm shifting my stance to bring my left-handed peacemaker around to Arnold.
Okay.
Getting out of the way of those big farmhands and swallowing visibly in a gulp as I realized what he could have done had he gotten his hands on me.
All right. That was on Ace, King, Queen, Jack.
I have a king.
Ooh.
Okay.
The kings are good to Anna.
So how am I doing on butting everyone out of this car?
Now people are coming in. Ollie has stepped into the car, and the brothers have stepped in as well. The Bigsby has moved Mrs. Thompson toward the door as best he possibly can. She's not fighting him because he's an injured man, but she definitely seems concerned at the sound of gunfire, and so that's her motivation to get her out. The accountant and the other individual have also left. So
I'm just waiting on Mrs. Thompson and Bixby to get out.
Yes.
All right, I'm holding. I'm gonna put that card up my sleeve, if I can.
Can do. That was a king.
Yes, that was.
Queen. Jack. 10. 9. 8. All right. On an 8. Man, you guys, that's cool. All right. On an 8, the conductor who's on the ground at this point in time, seeing that the guns aren't pointed at him or anything, he's going to take his turn to begin drawing with his own blood onto the floor of the train car. That's his action on an 8.
Dislike.
Cool, that's fine. I'm sure everything's fine.
There's nothing wrong with drawing in your own blood as you slowly bleed out to death.
I can be creepy too.
It's not a contest.
All right. That was on an 8. So now 7.
7. Ollie finally gets the first of several card. Got the 7 of hearts.
Woot. It's all your show.
All right then. Can I see past the sheet, etc., and see? No. Okay then. We will slide sideways and continue advancing. And while doing so kind of just half-heartedly moving up and out of the way, letting people by. Ollie's gonna start in with a Kentucky Windage hex that is turned into his default to improve shooting. So give me 1 second as I sling those dice.
Okie dokie.
All right, that is a 14 on my
Nice.
hex slinging check. And heck if I didn't forget what the initial threshold for that is.
We can always look it up.
5.
Yep.
He always has a target number of 5 for his
Right.
hex slinging.
So 5 gets you 5 cards.
Yep.
A 10 gets you a 6th card, but
Exactly.
a 14 doesn't quite get me. So I got 6
Nope.
cards coming.
Excellent.
All right, looking for my best poker hand from these 6. I am sitting on this pair of 8s.
Ooh.
So to trigger Kentucky Windage has a minimum of an ace. So getting a pair instead is going to increase it by 1. So that will be a -4 penalty to all shooting rolls that I get to ignore. And I get to reroll 1s on damage. So kind of his default focusing when something is amiss. So he's advancing now with his hand just off the grip of that rune-encrusted Lamont, and just kind of taking in what he's seeing and staying out of the way to let civvies past. And that'll be it for now.
Mrs. Dade is a shorter individual, and she is trying her best to keep the curtain up as high as possible. With that said, you can see most of I would say a decent amount of the top half of the car, but considering Arnold is now grappled and leaning over, the Father Cross are trying to grab a hold of him and they're engaged in a melee, you can kind of see 2 individuals on the other side tussling. So that's if you're standing on your tippy toes or doing that jump up and down thing that children do when they're trying to see past the end of a line.
I feel like if there's anything you've learned to recognize growing up at St. Mary's with the guys I grew up with, it's what it looks like when a couple of folks are tussling. So it's like, oh yeah, no, okay, there's people wrestling on the ground. I got it.
But you do know that you've heard gunshots go off, but you just don't know who's been shot yet. And
Yep.
All right. On your card, the rest of the boys will move in, flanking you on either side. Dwight, Cody, and Blake. 2 pistols and a rifle are what they're carrying. I have their damage written right here. 6.
That's me. Any updates on my blocking stuff?
Yes, we will say at this point, Miss Thompson is in the passageway between the 2 trains, and Bigsby would be blocking her point of view if she was to turn around and look.
Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and just to be safe, if I assume these trains have little car windows in between them and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the door closed and then just take a fist and punch it through the top of the car above the door and then hang the sheet from that divot, kind of jam that in there.
You can move over and close the door, or you can move over and I'll allow you to punch the sheet into the roof. But not move over, close the door, and punch the sheet into the roof.
Gotcha. Let's just punch the sheet for now then.
Fair enough. I don't know if that action needs any more description than that.
Well, I'm short, so I have to kind of like gear up and jump to do it. But
I'm pretty sure with your amazing strength, you don't have much of a problem making that little leap. The question is, will you actually rend the metal? So I'm going to need you to make that strength test.
Okay.
I'm going to check real quick to see what if I wrote down any information, because it's either metal or wood there, and I believe that's going to be wood. Yeah, we're going to say it's wood. That makes more sense. Dear God, it doesn't matter.
Little old me can just poke holes right into whatever I damn well please.
Yeah, so,
No, Ollie, you and your brothers cannot take her to the bank. I don't care how thin the safe walls are.
Good luck trying to stop her.
The sound of the explosion is pretty forward. It sounds like breaking wood comes behind you guys. As you see, she stops with her acrobatics of playing with the sheet, and she wheels around and hauls towards you guys. She looks as if she only takes one or two massive leaps before she flies behind you with the sheet, like some sort of gliding angel soaring through the night, when you hear a sudden explosion of wood splintering behind you guys. Your attention is drawn in two directions. One, Father Cross is engaged in melee combat with the dead dude from the back of the train. And behind you, the sound of wood exploding. So, which do you want to pay attention to, Ollie?
He's going to pay more attention up front where there's an active scuffle underway. Because anybody that Father Cross is grappling with, guns out, probably deserves it. So yeah, he's gonna be eyes front.
All right. This dead individual is currently facing away from you guys, so his back is to you. Cody, on the other hand, is going to be paying attention to the angel in flight and be spending the rest of the round in shock as she puts her fish through the wall. All right, that was on a 6. 5.
That's also me.
I have the 5 of hearts.
Spades.
That means you go first.
Take a back seat, Max.
Will do.
All right. I don't like the guy that's giving Father Cross an inappropriate hug. So he's already dead. Let's go ahead and try to take that neck off with my axes. So I'm going to go ahead and reach under my skirts, pull out my tomahawks, and go at him.
You're going to need a quick draw for the tomahawks, and you're at a distance, so you're either going to have to throw them or move over to him.
All right, quick draw is that speed load or?
Quick draw is its own skill. It's listed under
It's under quickness, yeah.
Gotcha. And if I don't have that skill?
It's a quickness roll with, what is it, -4, right, the total?
Yep.
And I don't know if tomahawks have a modifier on that either. Now, some weapons have built-in mods.
They do not.
17.
All right. You quick draw it.
Okay, and now I'm going to attack him, right? So I have to do my my fighting with my axes, right?
No, this is being thrown if you want to throw a distance. So you have...
Yes, sir.
Massively quiet. There we go.
Oh, that's only a 7.
You get to add 2 because he's facing away from you, so it becomes a 9. Still not enough to get another.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do some re-rolls here, because I got some chips to spend.
Woo! Chips to spend.
So, let's make this fun. I'm going to spend my red ones first. Let's do a red one.
Okay.
So I get an extra D12, correct?
Yes, you do.
And it will go on top of the 9.
So that would be 20.
Yeah. That's a hit with 3 raises.
Oh, boy. So now I'm going to do my 2d6 for my axes, correct?
Yes. No, now we're going to figure out where you hit. You roll a d20.
Oh, that's right.
Add 3 to it. Or take away 3. Depends on which way you want to go.
Rolled a 7.
That could hit him in the gizzard.
And if I raise or lower...
Lower it, hits him in the leg. Raise it, it hits him in the gizzard. Right now it's going to hit him in the guts. A gizzard hit will cause an extra die in damage.
Ooh, let's do gizzard then.
Gizzard it is.
So 3d6
Mm-hmm.
instead of 2d6? Got it. So that's 10 because it adds it up, right?
Yes.
And then I do my strength. And
that
that gets added to it?
The highest of your strength gets added to it.
All right, well, my strength is 5d12, and I'm a small creature, so I get my +2 because of my supernatural ability, and then I get a +1 for being small.
Not to damage, but to hit.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that would be 21 total.
That's 21. He's a size modifier of 6. That's 3 wounds to his gizzards. I'm going to go ahead and mark that down. Go ahead and roll 3d6 for the wind that Arnold just took. Got that notated. He's got a -3 on his actions.
6.
Excellent.
And if I remember correctly, I get to hit him with my other hand too, right?
You do.
Oh boy. All right, so do I have enough time to run up to him, or do I have to throw this one too? Okay, that's fine. I'll go pick him up next time.
Of course.
So we'll do... So if I remember, I just want to walk myself through it. First thing I'm going to do is make my throw and roll.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my 4d12 plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a 14.
Okay.
Let's add to it.
All right.
Another red chip. Go ahead and draw, Max.
Okay.
Oh, son of a bitch. 17.
It's 1 point away from being 3 raises. So right now it's a hit and 2 raises.
And I can't re-roll that red one with a white one, right?
No, since you already spent the red one, you cannot add any more white.
It's fine. That's fine. We'll take the 17. So that's 2 raises. So I'm going to get my D20.
Yes.
It's a 6.
So with a 6, adding 2, make it still in the guts. Taking away 2 would put it in the leg.
We'll do guts.
All right. Roll your normal damage.
7.
Okay. And now strength.
21. So that would be 28.
He's a size category 6, so that's 4 wounds to his guts. Total of 7 wounds to his guts.
Then do I have to roll wind for him?
Yeah,
And do I
4d6
have
and
to-
wind.
4d6 and wind.
Okay. 12.
Okay.
Well, you take 7 wounds to your guts and see how you like it.
Go ahead. Do you want to do a description of these hurtling tomahawks?
Yeah, so as I land from stuffing my fist in that sheath through the roof of the cab, I kind of land in a crouch position like Spider-Man and kind of reach up under my skirts for a second, pull out those tomahawks, and just from that crouch position, ping, ping, one right after each another, one into the gizzards, one into the guts, and then prepare to sprint toward them to go retrieve my axes.
Nice. Your tomahawks, first one, fly. They fly one parallel to ground and one kind of like perpendicular. The parallel one passes through his midsection and flies past Father Cross's midsection amidst the tussle. The other one goes into his back, in the lower part of his back, and like dead center, and causes him to like seize up in the midst of the fight. And you can see he has lost control. The axe is at an angle across where his spine would be.
Ooh, that's a bad day.
All right. That was on a 5 of spades. 5 of hearts actually happens to be, same action on the round, Mr. Arnold. Thanks to your wonderful donation, I was able to pick up 2 white chips, which we will happily drop toward Mr. Arnold, losing 2 of those wounds he just suffered. As he's Father Cross, he suddenly jerks, and then you can see he reaches back behind him. He's like struggling to reach behind him at something stuck, and he turns to face the other direction. You can see that there's a tomahawk in the center of his back, and like now he's facing the rest of you guys, and Ollie and the rest of the crew with like a shock as his midsection is rended and there's blood going over everywhere. For his action, he will reach back and try to grab Father Cross, and just grab a hold of you and put you in front of him, some sort of barricade. So he's going to make an unarmed attempt to grapple you.
Wow, that's a lot of negatives he's got on him right now.
Yep. Okay, so he's going to make a brawling roll. He's got a -5. Let's see, push the up button. There it is.
He's got a total of 5 to all his wounds.
Yes, he's got a -5 from his wounds, but being undead, he only suffers from 3 of them. All right, he successfully scored a 0 in the attempts to grapple hold of you. So he will drop a big old fat red chip to shore up his losses. Gets a 6. Gosh darn it, 6 is what he needs to grab you. So success. Do you got any vamoosing you want to do there, Father?
I've got 1 card for the round, but seeing what my associates have, seeing they both have 2 left and we're on 5s, I will trust in them and I will get out of the way of this guy.
Because you think they're about to unload. All right, go ahead and make your vamoosing roll. Toss your card, do the rolling.
Hey, I'm like Bomb Squad. When you see me running, try to keep up.
Nine is successful. You are able to push Arnold to one side, clearing yourself to the other side of the car and leaving Arnold purely in the open. That was on 5. We're moving on to 4s. 4 of diamonds right here.
Got the 4 of spades with Ollie.
All right, well, it looks like then you will be going first.
So yeah, Ollie sees this tomahawk savaged 2-day-old corpse, I think it is at this point, wrestling with the holy man and clawing at him and trying to grab him and all that. And he sees Father Cross scamper away and kind of roll to one side. And then Ollie lets out like a sharp, loud outdoor voice whistle, right? Like cutting through a herd of cattle level of sharp whistle to get the dead guy's attention. That guy already saw him, so I'm not shooting him in the back or anything. And I feel like that's enough of a warning. And then Ollie will give him a gunshot, probably to the head. Yeah, let's go ahead and make it a headshot. Let's go for the cool entrance. So that is a net -2 on my roll to shoot, because I'm ignoring 4 of the 6 points of penalty. But first, Ollie's got to get his gun out. So 1 second as I quick draw the badass Lamont. That'll do it. I think it's like a difficulty 5. So the Lamont leaps into his hand, and then he will shoot him with a called shot to the head.
Damn. Good deal. Called shot to the head.
Yeah,
of course, you've got all the penalties in there.
Yeah, so with the quality on the gun, it's only going to be a net -1 to this roll, with Ollie's newly ramped up shooting of 6.
Woot. Nice.
That is a 14 to hit, and that should do it.
It is. That is
unless he's
enough.
got any vamoose shenanigans. All right, then.
He's already spent his 2 cards. So.
Okay, so the headshot with this, it's normally 3d6 damage, so it's going to be 5d6, and I get to reroll 1s because of Kentucky windage. So that'll be 18 damage.
Translates into 3 wounds to the head.
And you said you got to reroll 1s on that, right?
Yeah, it's in there.
Oh, okay.
I put it in the code. I did it automatically.
That's why it went
I
1,
see it.
1, and then a 6.
Nice.
All right. Do me 3d6 worth of head damage and wind, which will definitely put him over. I gotta figure that out real quick.
It's 14 wind.
Nice. That's definitely over. All right. So 22. And it says 18 minus 4, then 14. Yep. 5 extra. So 14 plus 14 is 28. Your shot to the head causes him to go down to the ground. On 4 of diamonds, the conductor will lean back, and you guys are now very privy to the vision. The conductor wearing his nice vest and striped shirt. He's got his little glasses on and everything. It looks exactly like the conductor, save for the fact his eyes glisten bright red. And as he sits back with his hands covered in blood, and he's now graffitied all over the ground. Father Cross, you are very aware of the situation. It's a lot of Latin and a circle of some type, and he did a really fast job of it. You're not sure how he could have scrawled out that much in blood. And he calls to you and he says, "Well, the distraction worked. Come, my children." The circle glows of his blood and bursts. Upon the other side is another world seen through this moment in time. And Father Cross, you're the only one who can see it, so you're the only one who has to make a guts check at staring into the abyss of this horror.
Can I use my sleeved king?
Your what?
My sleeved king?
Oh,
Sure.
oh, yeah.
What do you want to use it for?
I mean, I hear the creepy going on.
Mm-hmm.
Am I able to charge at him and pick up my axes on the way, or no?
Yes, you could charge at him and grab your axes, and you would be at him and as well as the portal. You would then make a guts check because you're viewing the portal as well. It's something that your character has never seen before. And you would be at him and the portal, but that would be your entirety of it. Unless somehow the axes magically jump back into your hand.
Well, in that case, since I don't have time to stop,
you could use your thing to interrupt them. You'd have to make a quickness check.
yeah, so what I think I'd like to do is like tackle him out of his circle he made.
Yes.
And break that circle.
Of course.
So how do I do that?
Well, you're going to make a move, and then you're going to make a brawl and roll.
So the move I make first is the quickness?
No. The move is no dice roll needed. It's just you say,
Okay.
I'm going to run him, and then you make
And
a
then
brawling roll to dive him. Or run up and kick him.
Which, if I remember, you don't have brawling. And the closest thing would be your fighting tomahawks. Or fighting axes, I believe, is how you listed it.
Yep, fighting with axes. So would I just do a nimbleness then? Default to nimbleness -2?
If you default to nimbleness, it's a -4. If you default to your axes, which is similar, which would be a -2.
Okay.
Which is beneficial to you.
Okay, so let's do that. But
You
do I
got
get
a
my
lot.
side bonuses and stuff still?
Yeah, everything's the normal.
So then I still end up with a +1. So let me do that. +23.
Boom.
I hit him with the force of a train.
You do. Since you're
Does
making a
anyone
tackle,
know why there's a hole in the side of the train?
since you're making a tackle, the hit location is just going to be torso. There's not much of a tackle if you hit the head. I mean, you're still going to do damage to all of him, or you're just going to drag him out of the circle. But the objective is to grab him and pull him from his circle to interrupt his spell. So, give that a description real quick, and then I'll.
All right. So from my little crouch position where I just pew pew some tomahawks over at his friend, I hear the creepiness as he seems overjoyed, and that seems like bad news. So I just vault myself from that crouch position and keep low to avoid the firefight that's starting to happen above my head.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, from that crouched run, I just build up momentum and kind of veer my shoulder right into to land in his throat and take him fully across the circle with whatever's happening there, and onto the other side where we kind of tumble into the wall.
Hells yes. Since he has stuck a 9 up his sleeve for the purpose of this moment in time, he's definitely going to attempt to dodge you.
Oh, buddy.
All right. Sadly, he has horrible stats, and he's already been badly injured. All right. There we go. His injury. There we go. All right. And so he's attempting a dodge to get out of your way. Let's see how this works out for him. Bam! A 2!
Damn right! Take your creepy little devil bitchery away from me.
He throws his arms up in an attempt to block, and you slam into him and his bloodied hands, dragging him from the circle. In a moment, there's a cacophony of sound as the edges of the circle pop. Father Cross, how did that guts check go out for you?
She popped in before I went to make it. So I was listening to her description.
Yay!
Why don't you go ahead and make that roll anyways, as you watched him opening the abyss anyways. I'll just
I have to
make
make
it
one too,
less.
right?
No, because your attention was on him. We're going to make it a fair for Father Cross of a 5. 31. Oh, an opening into hell. How adorable. I've seen worse.
Wow.
Might be one of the best rolls we've had the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, 31 on a D12 is pretty normal. That happens all the time in these games, right?
Alrighty then. Well, I saved that card up his sleeve in hopes to save him, but that didn't work, and I'm not about to drop any chips on him. Alright. And that was on 4s. 3s.
Ollie's got the 3 of clubs.
Alright. Ollie, at this point in time, you'll be very aware that the train cars behind this car are rocking back and forth, and they are not in line. And what looks to be a large wall of something is moving up the train. At this point in time, it is in the next car back with the kitchen and everything.
Right. I don't know what that is. I don't know what to do about it. But creepy, dead-looking guy was just drawing in blood on the floor and opening weird portals and has done something to make the lovely Miss McDade get all handsy with him. So I'm going to shoot him in the face.
All right.
Ollie's going to, advance towards the ruckus at the back of the train and just kind of offhandedly snap off a shot to shoot the conductor in the head as he's, walking towards what seems to be the real threat. So yeah, let's do that.
Poor guy's only got 2 wounds left. He can really suffer too much more. You people just leave him alone. He's just trying to make flapjacks.
That is a hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's already with penalty in there for the headshot. So let's do some damage. That's 18 damage again.
Yeah, that's 6. That's 3 wounds to the head. He hasn't taken any wounds to the head, but this is probably going to push him over his wind limit. Go ahead and roll 3d6.
That's 14. Do you reroll 6s on wind damage?
No, you do not.
Okay, so 14 wind.
That pushes him over on the wind and knocks him unconscious. Game mechanics, he's got enough wounds, he's going to bleed out.
But he's already dead. Oh, wait, no, this is the conductor, right?
Yeah, the person you shouldered.
He was possessed instead of dead, I think, if there's a difference. But either way, Ollie heard from a gut-shot, dying Texas Ranger, shoot them in the head. And that's what Ollie defaults to when he's in trouble with anything that looks weird. He's going to do as he was taught. And hope it's enough.
All right. And any other 3s? Nobody else has cards except for me, so I'll go ahead and drop the last card, which is 2 of spades. On a 2 of spades, the real engineer, or the engineer for the train, comes barreling through the kitchen. He is much larger than the passageway, so he is knocking over carts, cargo, containers, pans off the wall, busting through bits of timber. When he enters the back half of this train car, he's coming from one car to the next. His head is about the size of a full-grown watermelon, covered with metal, and eyes like that of steam gauges. A large pipe runs out the side of his head and boils out steam, and when his lower half of his face seems to be flesh with teeth, muscle, and bone. He has no skin covering any of this, and when he screams into the train, it sounds like a whistle of an engine. The rest of his body seems to be abnormally large and part metal as well as part skinless man. Everybody needs to make a guts check.
Yeah, that's pretty effed up.
The guts check is a hard 9.
You want me to make another one?
Yes.
Oh, whoops! I didn't do the. Sorry, I screwed up that roll. I just did a normal 5d6 instead of that. Let me roll 2d6 to add to those sixes.
Mm-hmm.
Can we turn this into a comedy where he comes barreling into the room and falls into the hell portal?
You just closed it, so the answer is no.
Yep, afraid not.
Oh!
All right, so manipulating my dice for what it should have been. Those last two were the exploding sixes from that initial handful, giving me a 10. I've got a +2 on guts checks because Ollie is brave, so that gets me a 12.
Now, the most important part. Modify these dice rolls by your grit.
It makes it an 11 for me still.
And for the rest of you,
I have no grit.
How do I know my grit?
unless you got an advantage that gave you one, it's a 0.
Okay, I don't think I have any.
All right. All this would have been much less interesting. Exactly. Erica's got it. She's on point. Gotta know when to kill him. Gotta know when to kill him. I don't know what other parts of that line would be. And Kenny just recently checked out, so I can't call him and find out what else to ask. What else to put in there.
Know when to thrill 'em.
Ooh.
To kill is easy to rhyme with.
I'm terrible at rhyming. And that poetry I made, it took me almost 3 weeks to write.
Lol.
I'm a scientist.
Hey, Max, you want a rap battle instead of us trying to fight this half-trained man?
No. God, no.
Yes. Do it.
How about we quiz
right.
on the periodic table instead?
That's nerd stuff.
We could let Anna do a dance off with them.
I think
Singing's my specialty.
All right. What are we doing? That's the end of the round. He comes in. He does his fear thing. So kind of segue back to why it was saddening for Soymates to leave the game. This was the big bad thing that stole from the his pre-game stuff. So it was going to be like, oh, a reunion. But it wasn't. Miss you, Soy.
Very much so. We could definitely use him in here.
All right. The engineer is large, but he is definitely going to be able to push his way through the opening and into this car, but he won't be doing that until next round. On this round, his digger is running past him and into the train car with you guys. It has a same disabled appearance as the previous digger, hunchbacked and whatnot, leaning over. It has a shovel and only wearing pants because, you know, when you're a bad person or an evil person, you only wear pants. Nonetheless, he comes running into the room ahead of the engineer.
For the record, Ollie is only wearing pants, and I resent that.
That's because you were interrupted in the middle of a special evening.
Yeah, Ollie resents that too.
Fair.
Maybe that's why he's only wearing pants, because he was interrupted.
Devil spawning.
Yeah, that's a mental image we didn't need.
Well, at least Ollie's not wearing just his hat and boots.
He'd still go fighting in that. So, next round of shooting and doing. So now the engineer's going to roll. You guys are going to roll your quicknesses, and we're going to go from there. All right, this is the shoveler. Woohoo, look at him with the 4.
I'm going to sling a white chip for that extra die.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do the engineer.
You know what? I think I'll actually do the same thing.
Ooh, look at that. He got a 5.
White chips get you an extra add-on to quickness?
It doesn't add on like the red one does. It's like you have a higher rating. Like I have a 3d8 quickness. Putting in a white chip will give me a 1d8 to roll.
So, like, I've got a 4d12 quickness. I was able to roll 5d12 instead. So
Gotcha.
the white chip just gives you one extra die as, you know, an option.
Gotcha.
And in this game, you like we've been doing pretty much the entire campaign so far, you don't have to spend the chips until you know the result.
Cool. I don't like my card draws.
I like them. They're fine. They're good cards. They're all the
Two
same
and three
color.
color.
Oh, that wasn't much better.
I'll just be picking myself up off the floor from the tangle of body that Ollie put down that I was wrapped around.
You know what? Because this is such a important fight, and I know I'll probably regret this later, but oh well. I'm going to spend a red chip.
All right, going big. Like, I know Ollie's going to die someday with about 8 of his 10 chips in his pockets. Like, I don't like spending stuff in games where I get stuff like this. I'm like, but what if I need it later?
That's very
I've got
true.
a 10, so.
That was enough for another card, wasn't it?
Yep.
Sarah, are those Oreos?
Yes, sir, they are.
Did you bring enough for the whole class?
I mean, I absolutely have enough because it's a full pack. But shoving them through my microphone is
Not
going
gonna
to be a
work.
little problematic.
All right, top of the order.
We actually had Oreos for buy one get one free, so I bought 4 packs. There's enough for each of us to
Yeah,
have one pack apiece.
I would hit up on that. We would stock up real hard.
Aces.
I've been taking advantage
Ace
that
of hearts.
Twitch isn't showing our video right now, so I've been stuffing my face.
All right, Father Cross. There you are, blood all over the ground, sparkling with strange magical powers. This large half-metal humanoid creature has jabbed its head through the door, and in popping with it is some sort of gnarled gray humanoid with a shovel in hand.
Interesting.
They haven't really done anything terribly wrong. They haven't hit anybody, killed anybody, but they definitely look menacing. So, I mean, it's your call. Shoot it, kill it because it looks terrible. I mean, not judgmental, yes, of course. But, you know, prospectively speaking, it's kill or be killed. That guy looks dangerous. He might have a disease or something. Might be trying to bite you. Sell you bath salts or something.
Yep. So I'm actually going to use it to activate Holy... No, I'm going to put the ace up my sleeve.
Okay. Well, then the next is kings. Does anybody have a king?
I don't.
Capitalization is important. All right. I don't have a king either, but I do have a queen. What about everybody else?
Still nope.
All right. Well, my turn. On a queen, the engineer slides into this part of the train, and it sees everybody, and its first acknowledgement is to the person with a gun out. Its large, metal-clad hand comes through, and he points his fist toward Ollie, and then his fist extends away from his arm as a massive piston pushes it. So he's going to punch Ollie well over a meter away from the majority of him. So let's get that brawl roll done. Ollie, do you want to do any vamoosing?
Let's let him. Let's double check on how to use something.
Sure.
One second. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to because I just realized that Ghost does not work like I thought Ghost worked. and that's too bad. So it's going to be a fighting roll to get out of the way of this.
Yes.
That's not enough.
All right.
All right, let's drop a chip. I'm dropping a chip. Don't get all happy yet.
Okay. I'm not happy. There's no
Get a
happiness
little
here.
happy.
There's
dropping
nothing
a
but
red chip.
sadness for you people. Red chip it is.
Oh, still only an 11. I really feel like I don't want to get hit by this. I just have a weird feeling about giant steam-powered fists and Ollie's lithe, nimble frame.
Look at what happened to Hellboy.
I'm dropping another red.
We are throwing chips down today.
Wow.
What happens if you match on a vamoose?
It goes to Defender, if I remember right.
That is correct. It wins to the defender.
All right.
All right. He swings his large fist in. He points it up towards you, and as you see what looks like large metal canisters bulge on the side of his arm, you realize that something is about to happen, even though his fist is farther away than it should be, and it doesn't look like this thing's idiotic. You realize what's about to happen, so how do you get out of the way? Describe it.
Ollie is going to just kind of like dive and scramble and roll to whatever side he can to make enough room that this giant honkin' robo-train death demon fist just barely misses him.
And it does. It pummels into the mid-air, and all three of Cody, Dwight, and Blake are at this point in time stumbling backwards as they take the same kind of action you do, as they move backwards like, what the heck? Because they were out of range. But the objective was he was going to punch you into them like a bunch of bowling pins. So that's his action. That's his actual action on a queen. And then for the rest of it, he pulls himself, the majority of his torso, into the room. The size of him is twice that almost of a human. So he is supporting himself on one of his hands on the floor as he's trying to pull the rest of his body in. And you can see his lower half seems to sit in some sort of mechanical, steam-designed wheelchair of sorts, which is coming through the door frame. So it's his lower half is a train. Nothing weird about that.
Luckily for you folks, I can punch right through trains.
I so want to look at this guy as he comes through and go, Engineer, meet Miss McDade.
You will have that option. All right. As he moves to this point, and he's got his body where it's trying to shove its way through the two door openings, the red covering on the darkening covering has been able to extend now 3 extra windows down the length of the train. We're now up to 5, 6, 7, 8. That's beyond halfway. So this part of the train is dark and everything is red. And the last part, because his body's out of the way, who is close enough to that door? Because Miss Dade, you're at that door because you slammed the conductor, the conductor into it. So you can see that there are more shovelers past him, trying to climb over his chassis and get in.
I might be able to see that as well, considering I was like less than arm's reach to the conductor initially before everything started.
That's a fair assumption, but I'm going to require a cognition check of at least a fair of a 5 to be able to ascertain that moving mass behind the chassis is more combatants. Miss McDade has clear eyes on beyond the skinless freak, and so she knows what she's looking at. Yes, James, you are aware that there are more combatants behind the monstrosity.
So, the way that the train is going, Are we moving in the direction toward the door this monstrosity is coming through, or away from it?
Everybody right now is facing the back of the train, and it's facing the front of the train.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
All right. So that was on a... It's still the queen, right? Jack.
Yep.
All right, James, what are you doing on a jack?
No. I was answering your question of the queen. Sorry.
So 10, 9.
9 of diamonds.
9 of clubs. You get to go first.
All right. I am actually pulling 2 actions here. I am first pulling my ace from my sleeve, which I've already put it down on the board.
You have.
All right. First things first, I am casting Holy Roller. Now, for those that are not aware, this ability will grant me a chip.
Woo!
As long as I succeed to it. Now, the type of chip depends on how high I roll. I got a 10.
Hope it's a red chip.
Double checking. That is actually lower than I wanted. I'm going to pop a white chip in there. Hopefully I can get higher. If not...
Well, you rolled a 10 on one of your D12s. That's going to be... I guess you're just trying to ace a 12. That's a hard roll. Good luck.
Actually, you know what?
No.
I will take the red chip because what I'm doing next, you don't get to draw a chip. Because you only get to draw chips when we spend a red chip on trait and aptitude checks. Don't worry about pulling it from the pot since I'm using it immediately. Now I am casting Wrath. This requires me to spend a chip to determine what happens.
All right, moving right along.
Wrath sounds good.
Yep. What Wrath is going to do is it is actually going to last 6 rounds. This is on me only, but all damage I will do, because it is a red chip, will be at +2 damage die.
Ooh.
All I need is a 5 on the check. And the expenditure of that red chip I just picked up. So there is my 9. And there's the 5 I wanted.
Excellent. So now you have a +2 die type. So D8s go to D12s.
No, +2 damage dice. They stay the same, but I get 2 extra dice for all damage, whether I'm punching, shooting, or I pull out my nifty beat 'em up stick and swing, or even if I pull Miss McDade's tomahawks, I do +2 damage with hers.
So it goes from 2d6 to 4d6.
Exactly.
Awesome to know. All right, well, that was on your 9.
9.
Now it's my 9. And this is the 9 for the Shoveler. All right, so the Shoveler is a bit small of a critter, and he's right in front next to Miss McDade. And so seeing that you are next to the conductor, he's going to hit you in the head with his shovel. Called shot for the head, -6. Let's go ahead and hit that button. Where is it at? There we go. He gets a -1. He swings high, screaming at the same time, and slams the shovel into the wall next to you. Ooh, sounds like there's an alarm. One moment.
I so want to see the look on his face. He realizes he missed.
Hopefully everything's okay with Max's alarm.
Yeah.
I meant that little shoveler.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm real glad I didn't get hit with the shovel. That's good news.
Yes, you did not get hit by the shovel. But he did hit the wall, and it looked rather impressive for the little guy. Actually, he doesn't get a -1. He's actually a size smaller than you. He only had a 0. I forgot to add in his pluses. So, still
this
0.
He's just holding a shovel, right?
Yep.
Got it.
Little
Cool.
gray shirtless dude with the shovel.
Okay, cool. I have a plan.
All right, that was his action. To attempt to shovel you in the face. Didn't work out so well. Who's next would be 8. 7s.
7 of spades.
Excellent.
All right. Well, I know she can take care of herself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the engineer at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And having just cast my miracles, I am actually starting to quote, I believe it's called the Lord's Prayer, or Shepherd's Prayer,
Mm-hmm.
I think. Starting off with, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, as we're getting into this fight. And I am going to start unloading onto this guy. And since I am two-fisting both of my double action peacemakers,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to unload 4 rounds, 2 from each, into him.
Okay.
Now, earlier I picked up two-fisted,
Yes.
so I don't have to worry about the -4, but my second gun will suffer a -2, so I'll have a -1 on 2 of the shots, and I'll have a 0 on 2 of the shots and a -1 on the other 2, since I have quality guns.
All right, make those rolls happen.
All right, and this is with the modifier. This is the 0 result.
Okay.
9 and 24. And
Okay.
I will do the damage and location after all shots are done.
Sure.
And this is the second gun. 6 and a 5. And those are those 2 are my left hand, which I initially tried to hit the conductor with, but I had not fired yet. So I know the first 2 shots hit. What about those other ones?
They hit as well because he's 2 size categories larger. They get a +2.
So he's at an 8 size category?
Yes.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Yep. All right, let's do some locations.
All right.
First one gets at least a +1. Second one gets a +4. And the last 2 don't get any bonuses. You just roll for whatever. So D20 +1 is 13. That's going to be in the arm. All right. Write that down. Arm. Got it right here. All right. Next one.
What was the plus on the 24?
4. It's actually a plus or minus, so you can move it up or down.
All right, so that first roll would have been a 12, so I could have gone 11 or 13.
Which is still
And
the
he
arm.
rolled it. All right. Then
So you roll and I'll tell you your options and you get to pick one. 11. So lower
7 or
guts,
15.
gizzard, arm, or upper guts.
Gizzards.
Gizzard it is. Extra dice of damage. Roll again. Gonna write a G. This one is a leg. So you shoot him and past him and into the metal chassis. Leg. And last one. 12. That is in an arm. And first one is the left. Second one is the left. So you shoot him in the left arm twice. Look at that. All right. Because of his armor rating, all die are reduced by 1. So although you're firing with how many D6s, they're actually now D4s.
All right. All right, here's the first one.
Cool. Into left arm. 13 damage. That is 1 wound to the left arm.
All right. And Gizzards is +1 die.
Yep. $19. Awesome. 2 wounds to the gizzards. Shooting him in his stretchy middle bits.
15 for the third shot,
Which was into
a
the
4.
leg. Nice. And 13
And-
back into the arm for another wound. A total of 5 wounds. So 5d6 in wind damage.
Sounds like a nice way to say hello.
It is. 9.
Ouch.
That's a whole bunch of ones there. Whole bunch of ones.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was on a... What was that? That was 9? No, that was not.
That was
9.
not.
Was 7.
No, that was 7 of spades.
6. 5.
I got a 5.
Excellent.
Ollie's got the 5 of hearts. Right. Ollie doesn't like this. He thinks something's really wrong with the engineer, and that maybe he needs to get shot a whole bunch of times. So Ollie is going to trigger his rapid fire hex.
We need to get that heavy armor off of him. I don't think he can breathe.
Yeah, we need to help him.
Exactly.
Actually, you know what? Ollie isn't. Ollie is going to start to trigger his ghost magic. He's going to focus on not getting hit and centering himself for a second. So that'll be what Ollie does there at the 5 of hearts.
All right. 4.
Hey! I've missed you guys. All right, let's do this. So I would like to take this guy's shovel.
Okay. His action isn't on a 4 of hearts, but the engineer's is. So you have the advantage of the shoveler. I'm assuming your 4 is
I have a 4 of hearts as well.
awesome. So you and the engineer are going at the same time.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna take his shovel with my strength because I have a lot of it. So I'm gonna wrestle him for it, I guess.
Awesome. Let's do this. You need to make a brawl and then a strength roll. You have to succeed the brawl roll, which it is a fair of 5. Versus his fighting. It's either 5 or his fighting. He has no cards, so it's just going to be a 5. And somebody is wishing you luck on wrestling through our audience. Thanks. She's
All right,
gonna
that's a 10.
That'll be successful. Now it's an opposed strength test. And where are the shovelers? There we go. The shoveler's strength. Gets a 13 to hold on to his shovel. You got a 10.
Ooh, I don't like that. We're gonna roll a blue chip.
Heck, yes. Boom.
21. I can get on board with that.
You yanked the shovel from his hands.
All right. So that takes my whole action, right?
You could stand up at this point in time.
I will do that.
Okay. You still have cards left, so you can be defensive in upcoming rounds and stuff like that. At the same time, the engineer who has just got shot a number of times by Father Cross is going to reach out and make a brawling attack against Father Cross, calling shot for his gun arm. Call shot for the right arm is a -4. Making a call shot for the right arm, -4. Let's see, where is that at? There it is, so it's actually a -2. Bam! He goes for an 8, but I don't think that's good enough, so we're going to toss a red chip in and add an extra D12 to it.
Keep trying to hurt us.
Yes. Making it a 15, Father Cross, to grab you by the hand.
Okay.
You going to defend yourself, Vamoose or something?
I have no cards.
Oh.
The 7 was my last effort on that one.
All right, well, he is now with his mechanical hands going to surgically remove yours. It does a D8 for the actual metal punchy glove bit. That's a 6. That's 1 wound. Now we're going to do his strength.
7.
Your size 7?
For the purpose of damage, thanks to a gift,
Oh, yeah.
I am considered a 7.
You are.
Keep track of how much damage you do total.
I will do.
Oh, never mind. I can't activate that since I don't have cards.
Good to know. All right. So still 6. So that's at least 1 wound, and then his strength applies to the pinchy pinch. Comes out to be an 11 for 2 more wounds. Not good enough. We want more. Go ahead and toss out another red chip.
Man, Max is being savage.
Bloodthirsty today.
It's only 1. 3 wounds. Not enough. I want more.
So that was 21?
Yeah, we're now up to 18 damage to your right hand.
That's 2 wounds. Remember, I'm a size 7 for damage.
I thought you just said you can't activate that because you have no cards.
No, I was talking about retribution. That was more of to myself than to you.
That's okay.
No, the thing where I'm considered a size 7, that's a passive ability.
Okay.
Luckily, my gifts are passive.
All right. Well, that's the last red chip I'm going to toss into this, turning it from a 18 to a 23. With your size modifier, it only makes it 3 wounds to the right hand.
All right, I am dropping in a red chip to stave off 2 of the wounds, so only roll 1d6 for wind.
All right, here it is. You get 1 wind.
I don't know if I can take that.
All right. He does have a hold of your hand, so you guys are going to dance. All right, that was on a 4. Let's move on to a 3.
Hey, that's me again.
I've got the 3 of spades. What do
I
you
think
got?
you go first, because I'm diamonds.
All right. Nothing happens. But Ollie is finished channeling that magic that none of you have seen yet. He's just standing there focusing and centering in a way that you have seen him do before, immediately before unleashing a terrible maelstrom of violence. So he's getting his feet planted under him, and he's focusing, and he's staring at the bad guy, and he's got his gun in his hand, and he is thinking real hard.
Awesome.
That's it for me.
I get nervous when you get that look, because sometimes you end up shooting toward my head.
Oh, man, he's got no cards left, and it's the end of the round. I look forward for next round. And you're the last one with cards.
All right. So, first thing I want to do is take out or get this shoveler guy out of my way. So, I'm gonna pop him in the face with his own shovel.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do I do that first?
All right, you're going to use your machete skills, your hatchet skills. Machete skills. You're going to use your hatchet skills. It's a -6 for called shot for the head. The basic shape of this can act just like a hatchet, so you're not going to see any penalties. But because it is a 2-handed weapon, you will get a +1 to use it. And you also get to add in a +2 to your strength. You get a die increase because of a 2-handed weapon. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she needs that.
No, nobody needs extra dice.
What's your
That's the
strength
last thing.
sitting at the moment?
5d12 +2.
So for damage, your strength will be 5d12 +4.
No, it's going to be, 6d12 +2.
Huh.
Because she's getting to use both of her hands in the attack.
That's a 19.
That will hit him in the head.
Good. It should. And then
The
I'm
shovel
gonna roll my.
does-
What was that?
The shovel does 2d6. Called shot for the
2d6.
head. Sorry, 3. Yeah. I apologize. The shovel does 3d6 because it's a 2-handed weapon, not your strength increased. So it does 5d6 for the shovel itself.
So that would be 16 damage. Wait, 5d6?
5d6 is what you need to be rolling.
Oh, let me roll 2 more. Holy butts. So that would be 23
Okay.
plus my strength.
Yes,
Normal strength, the 5d12
that is correct.
plus 2.
I wrote that wrong.
Yeah, just 5d12, exclamation, keep 1 +2.
So that's 23 plus 14 is 37.
All right. The critter has a size of 4, so that means that's 6 times 4, 7, no, 8, 9 points of damage. Yes, 9 points of damage to his head. Yeah. You splatter the shoveler against the metal side of the engineer by crushing
Cool.
its head with its own shovel.
Cool.
Go ahead and mark through shoveler number 1.
So she hits him so hard his body doesn't even move. But Ollie and I just kind of pause for a moment because we're like, well, where did this blood come from?
What happened to his head?
Cool. Yeah. I'm into it.
I'm going to say, though, that the shovel takes some damage of this. It's slightly bent and warped. Although it's a hellspawn shovel and it's meant to dig through some pretty hard ground, I'm pretty sure this is not inside the manufacturer's, description of what it's meant to be used for. So,
Well, it's about to take more of a beating, so.
alrighty then.
It's got an imprint of his face on it now.
You have 2 more cards. No, you have 1
Nope. I just have 1 more card. Sorry, I didn't play my 3. All right. So for my 2, here's what I want to do. I want to, because this big guy is in the room now, right?
Yes.
All right. So I saw the guys that are coming from this car, and we're going the opposite direction.
Yes.
So I'm going to use this shovel to just kind of like jam into the cables that are and the mechanical shit that's holding the cars together, and separate them.
So you want to step past the engineer, out onto the walkway, and shove down before they jump between the 2 cars. Yeah.
You got it, sir.
All right. In this game, there's no provoking attacks, so you're not going to provoke anything from him, so you will easily slide past.
I'm just like, excuse me.
Now this is a strength test versus you and the train. Let me go.
Okay. Well, I've done pretty well against the train so far, so.
All right. To break between the 2 cars, you're going to need an incredible of 11.
Remember, if you want to use any white chips, you've got to use them before
That's
reds
true.
or blues. But
Yeah,
you don't have to use them until you roll. Like, you can roll first, but...
Right. I'm going to use 1 for right now, just because I feel like special when I get to roll 6d12.
Mm-hmm.
It's a special occasion, guys. We're going to do it. Preach! 24.
All right, so...
Bye, train.
No, the cables are separated, but remember, there's that strange-ass growth between the 2 cars. You had to cut it open earlier.
Oh, yeah, that.
That's still holding on to it. But you bring the shovel up, you shove it down, sparks fly, the 2 pieces of metal separate, and with a quick twist, the 2 coupling bits, which are shaped like 2 moons, pop open as you jam in hard enough. The train cars begin separating backwards. There are lengths of chain that are meant to hold the cars together if this happens. There's also that skin thing. So, although the first action of splitting the 2 cars is done, there are still other actions that need to be done.
I'll work on it, guys.
All right. New round. New cards. It's getting so much closer. I can taste those jacks. They're getting to the top of the pile. I can't wait for those. Roll your quickness.
The jokers, you mean? Yeah.
The jokers.
It's going to be slow going with those rolls.
All right. That's 3 cards for me again.
That for a 10, right? Is 3 cards still?
Yep.
Cool.
3 plus 3, 6. Plus his 2. So. Top of the initiative comes to aces. I have one. And it's in the possession of one of those shovelers who are trying to make the break. I'm going to go ahead and drop out the ace of hearts. Anybody else got an ace to kind of tie up with me? He sees what you're doing, and he'll let out a hiss. I'm pretty sure you're strong enough willed at this point in time with all the shit going on. You're not going to be like, scary dude with the shovel.
I hiss back at this fucker.
There you go. All right.
That is a very ladylike.
That little squirmy feeling inside you is definitely like in sync with your desire to start smashing shit.
Yay! We get along.
It's going to. The shoveler is going to run. It's going to swing wide, and it attempts to knock you so that you fall onto the ground. So it's going to try to trip you here.
This is a shoveler in the car that they're in, or in the new car?
The car behind you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, part of the new group that's trying to get in. He got out ahead of the others.
That is correct.
I want to kind of position myself so that if he misses, he starts cracking away at the the fleshy bits that are holding it together.
We can do that, yeah. I don't see why you can't make that action. He gets a 6. That's a successful hit. Do you want to drop a card and attempt to dodge? Otherwise, he hits you.
Yeah, because I don't want more of these guys coming. So I'll dodge. Does it have to be my highest card to dodge?
It's your next one.
Okay. So
if you have a card up your sleeve, it's that one. Otherwise, it's your highest card.
All right. Well, hopefully he does some damage on fleshy bits.
So you're dropping a card to dodge?
Yep.
All right. You need to roll your dodge, or you're fighting if you're going to like block with your shovel or your fists or something.
I'm not blocking because I want him to hit the thing. So I'll roll my dodge. So that's, I don't have that skill, so it's my 4d12 for nimbleness minus 4.
That's correct.
Yeah, 10.
Excellent. We're going to go ahead and say that, yeah, he does. He chops past you and into the fleshy bits.
I get more turns when I can get them to hit what I want them to hit.
That's true. That's true. Well, that's an ace. What about kings?
Ollie's got a king.
So do I. I have a king of clubs.
So do I.
So we go at the same time. This is, by the way, the engineer.
All right. Ollie is still in his Deadeye mode in Red Dead Redemption, focusing and figuring out and calling his shots and getting himself ready. So he is going to trigger his rapid fire hex.
Ooh.
Hex roll of an 11 will give me 7 cards. All right, what can we put together from this? Not much. Oh, poop. That's just gonna be an ace.
Oh, man.
I got 4, 6, 8, 10, Jack, King, Ace. Lots of not quites. The ace is enough, and that will increase my rate of fire by 1.
1 is better than none. So let's take this to advantage and see where it can take us.
You didn't even have a flush?
Nope. So, all right, that's +1 to my rate of fire. That's what I got for my King of Spades action.
Okay. On his King of Spades action, he is going to take Father Cross and throw him into the wall. I do not doubt that his strength is high enough to pick Father Cross up off the ground and fling him into the wall, but it's going to be the back wall on the far end of the train. No, better yet, he's going to throw them all into Blake and them. Which, by the way, I just want to point out, because you've been casting spells, Blake, Cody, and Dwight, I've considered that they've been going, pow, taking pot shots when the opportunities arise. But right now, it is difficult. Their guns aren't that strong, and they don't have any magical abilities to make them stronger. So doing a wound to this thing is near impossible for them with their D4s. They will get the back end of Father Cross, as he is now being turned into a weapon. The critter is going to throw him. There it is. Father Cross, you're a unique weapon, so he suffers a penalty. Gosh darn it, why can't you be aerodynamic like the banker? That's what we need in here right now. The banker, he could definitely put this. He's running. Oh, crazy shit's happening.
Because I don't have that nice, curve shape like a baseball or football, whatever he resembles.
Well, he's lived a good life. All right, there we go. A massive 7. Requires a fair to hit anything with an object. He's targeting Blake right now, so Blake is definitely going to get hit with a 7. Blake doesn't have any cards unless Ollie's going to drop something for the boys.
No, I think they're all right.
All right, fair enough. They're going to get hit by Father Cross. Now, the critter's not going to get his full-blown strength on this attack, but it's definitely going to be a strength roll. We're going to just drop it by 1 dice, and that's pretty much what we're going to deal with. Everybody, Father Cross and Blake both get hit for 12 points of damage. It's going to be to the chest and nothing special, as I'm not going to... unless I hit something... Nope, nothing. It's chest hits. 12 points of damage. Father Cross, you'll take a point of damage to your chest, a wound, and Blake
activating retribution.
Okay.
He's taking the same damage. Since it was a wound to my chest, he will be taking a wound to his chest. There is no negating that.
You get 6 points of wind, Father Cross, and he gets 1 point of wind, Father Cross. Ooh. Blake gets... He doesn't get any mitigators, so he takes 2 wounds and 2d6 for 6 points. Okay, I'll just note that down up here with Blake. 1 wound, 6 wind. Cool. All right. That is on his king. Father Cross, you are now on the ground on the backside of the train. And if you haven't noticed what I wrote in chat just a little while ago, you might want to take a look at it. If not. All right, so after kings, we move on to queens. And I don't mean in New York. Anybody? No? Just me? Great! The shoveler that has swung at you and missed has now been joined by another shoveler who sees this opportunity because you step to one side to kind of give him this opportunity to hit the fleshy bits. It doesn't want to fight the fleshy bits. It's stepping past you and into the car. And it's climbing up onto the engineer at this point in time. So its whole action is to come past you, climb up the engineer, and look for a place that he can leap down on somebody. So that's what he's done for his queen action. All right. After queen is Jack. Anybody?
I just spent mine to activate retribution.
Well, good news. The other shoveler, the third and final shoveler, runs up and is going to reach out and swing. Yeah, she's going to swing at Sarah's character with her shovel as well. Once again, same kind of smaller creature, gray skin. She, on the other hand, seems to be feminine in some qualities, but still just as horrid. Swings for your midsection, not calling shot, to hit you with the shovel.
Are more of these coming beyond her? Okay.
Yeah. All right, there she is with a 7. Do you want to try to block, dodge, or anything like that, or just take it?
Well, if there's not more coming, there's no real reason to separate these cars anymore, which is sad.
Okay, well, I can change it.
No, we're good.
I tell you what, no. Honestly, I'll happily give you 2 chips, and I'll change my narrative.
Don't do it.
It's the last episode. Deal.
Bam! You get 2 more chips, and there are more coming.
Okay, all right. Then I'm gonna dodge her too and let her beat up this the bits.
So
are the bits looking like they're almost defeated or what?
Okay, so there's 2 chains, and that could easily be 1 quick swing of your hatchet. And and then there's one more half of the fleshy bits. So if you dodge her attack, you will definitely slice open the other fleshy bits. Fleshy bits are done, and then all that's left is the chains. Now, the trains can be broken several ways. If there's enough force of the train going backwards, such as if somebody pushed it really hard and was well enough to do so, or one of your magical tomahawks could cut through them like butter.
Cool. All right, we've got plans. So I'm going to go ahead and use my 10 to dodge her.
Okay.
And let her do my work for me.
You need a 7 or higher. And now I get to add more. Audience, how many more shovelers should I add? Or should I add something else? Like, should I allow the demons that was being summoned by the conductor to actually come into the game, so it's not just a bunch of people with shovels? Could do that too. There's also the option of gargoyles, flying critters. Audience, come on, toss me in something. Throw me a bone.
Let's not go with the flying critters, because she's being pretty heroic to break the train off. I feel like it kind of undercuts the drama if it's flying stuff. Just sharing my fictional opinion as a fancy pants wordy writer man, that flying stuff would undercut the drama of the cleverness of breaking the train apart.
All right, we got to vote for demons. You got a 4. You need a 3 more.
I'm hold on.
Dancing girls.
Let me draw my chips and see what I can do. Red chips. Here we go.
Woot.
Hold on, you messed up that roll. You put 40-12, keep -2.
Yes, you
You
did.
put 40-12, put the K1 and then the -2.
Oh.
Redo the whole thing, because that's not actually a valid answer that the system can pump out.
Whoops.
You just push the arrow key and it goes up to the last thing you input, and then change that, and it'd be... I feel it's faster.
There we go. 14.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Thanks, Rusty. You saved me a chip.
You're welcome.
All right. This female shoveler dashes forward. She thrusts with the handle for a moment, swings with the back end. You move farther, and as you get into position, she takes the shovel 2 hands over her head and draws a hard strike. You deftly step to one side. It strikes off the side of the metal of the train and punctures the outside, finishing the tear that rips all the way around. The fleshy bits are spraying and splattering blood and ichor all over the place now, as major veins have been ruptured in whatever this cocoon is.
Can we have a quick talk about this? Is it ichor? Is it ichor? Like,
I think it's
pronounced both ways.
I can go with ichor, because my pronunciation of the English language is terrible. You can ask anybody.
I want to know if I've been wrong.
Ichor, I think, is popular around Europe, but I've heard of ichor.
I'm going to go with ichor. I'm happy to change. Rusty's a writer. That makes him a professional. That's like me telling somebody, hey, don't mix bleach and ammonia. It's bad. And they going, I don't believe you. And I'm like, I'm a chemist. I know these things. And they go, no, I'm going to trust in an expert here.
Black bananas are bad.
There's not a lot of pronunciation in what I do, but I'll take it. I appreciate the vote of confidence, Max.
All right. Spraying blood and ichor.
Cool.
I like that last suggestion. Max?
Hold up. What was that, Sarah?
I appreciate the tangent there.
Not a problem. And what was that, James?
Look at that last suggestion in the stream chat.
Demonic can girls.
No,
Or
the one after that.
Coyotes.
Yeah, coyotes.
That's a good one, and I might save that for another rainy day. But we're going to lean on to demons right now.
I do like the demons. That sounds terrifying.
And so we are at Jax. Any other Jax? After Jax with 10s. 9s. 8s.
I have a 10 of diamonds.
If you want to use it or put it up your sleeve. So right now, you just got
I will put it up my sleeve for the moment.
All right. What's that? 7s. No, 8s. I'm on 8s. That's that one, this one. So, yes, that one's saved. All right, so on 8 is the engineer, and since this is his last card, and he's an aggressive individual. You haven't shot at him, Ollie, and he's already pulled himself mass-wise into the front car, and he's not really paying attention. That's what the little guys are for. So he really wants to get to Father Cross again. Like, this is important for him. So he is going to pull the mass of him into the car by reaching out with 2 hands. His hands then piston forward, dig into the floor, pull all at one time, and pull him more than halfway across the car, literally in front of you. Because remember, you dropped and dodged to the one side. I'm assuming you're in one of the little side cubbies of where people's stuff is at. And that's where you've been at for this point in time. So he is literally next to you. As he has come to a point, he pulls himself to a stop. He's going to pick his mass of his body up, and he's going to do a double-handed fist punch down on top of Father Cross to turn him into pate, which is a delicacy where he comes from. Priest pate. Father Cross, you going to use that card you just stuck up your sleeve? Because he's about to smash you with an 8 of hearts.
I want to see what the roll is first.
Fair enough. All right, so where was that at? After I found out you can just push the arrow up key to go to previous rolls, I'm so happy. He doesn't have a penalty because he's not trying to hit any particular part of Father Cross. He just wants to smash him. And we got a 10.
All right.
Hitting
now,
the raise.
All right. Now, since he slammed me against Blake, and Blake and I fell down together, can I grab Blake and roll with him?
Sure.
All right. I will go ahead and use that 10 then to do that.
So just kind of like roll over so that Blake takes the brunt of the impact since he owes you his life?
No, both of us just rolling out. I'm trying to get us both out of the way.
Right. More of a thing.
Because Blake, the way he described his fist, and he's, coming down with a double axe blow, both of us are going to end up taking it.
That's correct.
Yeah, probably.
Blake's just collateral damage on this. So I'm trying to get both of us out of the way.
Yeah, I just forgot we're playing good guys.
Well, yeah, that's why we're shooting at the engineer, because we're trying to get him out of his armor and help him out there. That's probably why he's so angry. 23.
You definitely grab Blake, and he brings down and does his ooply-dooply little d6, and now his strength damage. I just want to show you what it looks like number-wise when he smashes. Has it been that long since? There it is. When he smashes into it. Oh, a sad 15. Nonetheless, that's more than enough to damage the floorboards and break them and send dust flying. But. Now we move on to a 7, which is Ollie. Before you take your action, I want you to know that as he rushed into the car and moved and attacked Father Cross, who's, by the way, at the back of the train at this point in time, the darkness that has been slowly enveloping the train has now made a massive move. 3 more windows before the end of this turn.
Right. That reinforces my plan of murder this guy. Here is my 7 of diamonds. And Ollie is going to trigger Magnum Force for his next trick.
Ooh.
So
impressive.
Everybody together. Ooh.
No, it's actually really impressive sounding, so.
Nice. That is a 20 on my hexing roll. So, going to be 8 cards to make a poker hand with. See if I can do a little better this time.
That's a lot of cards. Believe in the heart of the cards, Ollie. Or, I don't know, should your character believe in the heart of the cards? Because you're actually drawing in character. Or is it the player should believe?
So, the good news is I got to draw 8 cards. The bad news is I believe that card is the Black Joker. Does it go by the color of the outfit, or is it the color of the text in the Roll20 deck?
Well, I will
I
show you, because this is the red Joker right here. You can compare the two and get your answer.
Yep, so that is the Black Joker. Wah, wah. Right. So I don't remember exactly what that does to a hex.
I'm looking it up.
Like, do I still make a hand, but then something bad? I think
Yes.
was what happened.
That's
All
what
right.
happened last time. You shot Father Cross in the back of the leg with the bit of your barrel. The barrel
Right.
flew off because the gun exploded. And you still canoed the bat creature.
Okay, well, we will build up a fair amount of power then. So let's do ace, 2,
So many
3.
cards.
Joker, 5. So we will drop a straight, which is going to be pretty solid on this one. So on Magnum Force, all I need is an ace. So we start with ace, and then it goes pair, and then pair of jacks. And let's see how much farther up the line are we on poker hand. Give me 1 second here.
It doesn't have a specialized table. It's just going by the.
Kind of the default stuff. But I know that jacks is its own thing. So let's go. All right, so ace.
Okay, you need an ace, and you got a straight.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up.
Right. So that will be 3 extra. My damage die improves by 4 by type. So from
Nice.
D6s, we're going to 8s, 10s, 12s. What's after D12s?
You said it's going up by 4?
Yeah.
8, 10, 12, 12 plus 2.
Nice. So yeah, Ollie continues to hold down the X button and charge up for a mega attack here. And that was me at 7 of diamonds.
Just keep in mind when you're firing at the engineer directly, he does have an armor rating of 1, so it will drop by 1 dice.
So still D12s. I'll take it.
I am looking for the chart of charts that describe exactly what's supposed to happen. I think it was in the Marshal's Handbook. Yep.
What are we looking for?
The Marshal's Handbook. I just need to
Yeah,
make sure I have it open.
The chart for when you get the black.
Yes.
Joker.
Yeah, for the backlash.
Is that in the Book of the Dead or the Marshal's?
It is in the Marshal's Handbook. If you're looking in the 20th anniversary, it is page 245.
Oh. Nope. Nope.
Yeah, backlash chart. So am I supposed to, we're rolling a D20 here?
1 second. What page was it?
245.
This book only goes up to 208, so that's not going to work out so well.
Huh.
The Marshall
Is it-
Handbook.
Oh, yeah, he's talking the
20th anniversary. Yes, you roll a d20 to see what happens for your backlash.
That's a 20.
Ow.
Wow.
That's
Ow.
not great. So, yeah, I guess Ollie's about to fucking kill himself.
Let's do this.
Nice. Well, or I guess because it twists the spell's effect, so would that lower the damage by that much?
Copy and paste the text into the
Sure.
stream chat, please. Share it with our audience, because I'm not finding it.
Yeah, so the effect on a 20 on the backlash chart is it just reverses the spell's effect. So if it was a blast spell that does damage, it hurts friendly characters instead. If it's a protection spell, it makes me more vulnerable, etc., etc. So I guess that would just mean I'm lowering the damage on the gun.
Yes.
Right. What's the damage on the gun right now?
It's normally D6s. So
Total,
it goes...
total 3d6, 4d6?
Yeah, 3d6.
Okay. So first step is 3d4, then it goes to 2d4, 1d4, and then 0. So you're doing nothing during the duration of the spell with that particular gun.
All right, so the next shot will be nothing. Nice.
Well,
good job, Ollie.
The Manitou definitely tricked you on this one.
Yep, it's just it's siphoning away that energy for some nefarious purpose or something.
Nefarious.
All right then.
All right, and with that, we that was on the 7. Anybody else have a 7? I don't think so. And I have a 6. And the 6 is the gentleman who climbed on top of the engineer. So, seeing everything that's going on in the attack, he sees you casting hexes nearby. He's going to jump off the engineer and on top of you with his shovel.
Okay.
His attack is going to be to come down on you with said shovel. See, where is his attack? There we go. Let's find that number again. There it is. A 7 will be a hit with the shovel.
Yeah, he hits the floor as the shovel passes through my insubstantial form.
What?
Ollie does not even twitch.
Awesome.
Ollie continues to focus on trying to line up the shot and hold on to the tiger he has by a tail and continue building up power for an alpha strike.
All right,
so yeah, it just ripples right through him and thumps into the floor.
Awesome. 5, 4.
5 is me. I gets to 5. All right. So we need to end this whole train debacle thing. So since more are coming now, thanks for that. Makes my work worth it. So I'm going to grab onto the cables on each side of the train and kind of do like bodybuilder, like lift myself and like put my feet on the opposite train and just push and see if I can break those cables.
All right. I'm going to make this at a hard 9. I'm going to actually make it an incredible of 11. But if you make a hard 9, you pass. It's just you're hanging on to the edge of the train as the two of them separate. But if you make an 11, you separate the two trains and are able to get back on the train you want to be on.
Cool.
So there it is. That's the strength test you gotta beat.
33.
Holy crap.
Take that, James, and your 31 earlier.
Oh, I'm just setting the bar for the lady to pass.
All right. So, yeah, describe it, because you kicked that train like a bad habit.
Yeah, so I kind of like doing a pull-up almost. I kind of lift myself, and then like a springboard, she's got to have abs of steel or something, because she like pulls her legs into this tight crunch while holding herself in the air, and then just lets loose and shoots her legs out and just pops into that train car behind her. And she can feel the pop of like that train stopping, or that train car stopping, and then the one behind it kind of hitting it. As she then kind of like with like her tendons like showing and stuff like that, she kind of slowly lowers herself back onto the train.
Wow. Awesome description. James, by the way, it's when the Black Joker gets played during initiative, something happens for the marshal, right?
Yes, I have to go back and
I believe I get
look
it.
at it. Yes, you get to draw randomly from the fate pot. For us, at the end of the round, whoever draws the Black Joker tosses it and their highest card uh, away, and they have to play with whatever they have left. If that's 0 cards, they just don't do anything.
Yep.
At the end of the round, everything gets shuffled back for arts. If you draw the black joker, the end of round stuff is the same stuff. We don't get any draws.
Now, with him drawing his black joker, the audience should know that he's got to reshuffle his deck, call in all his huckster cards, and start over, which is a benefit for him, and makes it harder, especially if he's gotten a lot of really terrible hands. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to get good hands following suit. All right, so that is.
I'd like to add in too that as I get myself back in the car, I just turn around and look at the big bad guy, and I just fucking stopped a train. So I'm just gonna stare him down and be like, I'm ready.
All right. Turning back to face everything, you see he's moved into the middle of the car, wrecking pylons and the supports on the inside, smashing around, bashing things. The skin-like material is surrounding the car, just flaps in the wind and whatnot. But you notice that the darkness that encases the car has grown a lot. And the terrain that you see around you does not look like Kansas at all. Between where you're at and the next car, which is now disappearing into the darkness, it doesn't look like anything like Kansas.
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Or Oklahoma. Or wherever you need to be.
I don't think any of us really, really wanted to go to Dodge anyways.
We need one more turn, guys.
All right. I have a 3, and I do believe Ollie has a card left too.
Yep, I'm not up until 2 though.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drop my 3, which is not the engineer. See, shoveler, 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 shoveler. They all got their ones. Yep, this is the engineer's card. Father Cross has done his thing. At this point, it's going to stop and look over its shoulder, make eye contact with Anne because she just separated the 2 cars. Very aware of what you did. It turns, faces you, and spews out a stream of boiling hot water. All right. Do you have any cards?
I do not.
Ooh. All right, so it's got to roll a 5 or better to hit you with hot water.
I love how absolutely insincere the sounded.
Yeah, right? Oh, too bad. Let's fuck up your face.
Oh, too bad. Let's fuck up your face. Yeah. Not calling shot because that's just silliness right now. We're just gonna do that.
It's gonna be real surprised when I start puking back on it next turn.
5. So it's a successful hit. Rolling location.
Yeah.
17. It gets no pluses, and 17 is torso. If I remember correctly. It is the upper guts. That's good. All right, and let's do its 3d8 in boiling hot damage. 5. Lord of freaking mighty.
Ouch! That kind of hurt.
Pretty much. All right.
I look down at it, I look back up at it, and I'm like, here we go.
So if I remember correctly, you have a size of 5.
Yeah, because I'm small.
So that's at least 1 wound to your chest.
Okay.
And that is a d6 of wind, which is 4 points.
Which I ignore, because I'm me.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, game mechanics happen. It tried.
But the way she's been playing Anna, I would assume she's more pissed about the fact that she just got completely soaked
All right.
in a room full of guys than the fact that she took damage.
I don't think that's a problem in her mind. That's definitely, she's a very pious individual.
I'm more irritated that I just spent a couple hours stitching this raggedy dress back together.
Exactly.
Now it's all covered in blood too, and I'm just like, it's a trend. I'm gonna start it.
All right. So I put a Joker up my sleeve, and he's definitely going to drop it at this point in time because Well, gotta use it. No, actually I don't. That's right. I don't have to use it. I can hang on to it. I'll just go ahead and hang on to it. Ollie, your turn.
All right. On 2 of spades, Ollie, who's still just standing there focusing, he will shake his head and mutter under his breath, completely ignoring the shoveler whose shovel is going through him. And he go, "Oh, no, you don't, you son of a bitch. And I will not pay the wind to keep my Magnum Force going, and I will try to proc Magnum Force again." Let's see if I can just keep that as a wasted action. So a 7, it will succeed in getting me a basic 5 draw. Uh, 5, 6, 7, something, 9, ace. So just an ace is going to be my top there. That's enough to bump my damage up by 1. So from D6s to D8s. So my Joker cost me an action at least, but I'm still able to technically say that it was a successful hex.
Heck yes.
Just like my rapid fire was technically a successful hex.
With the 1 extra shot.
All right.
All right, so that's Ollie's action is still focusing, getting ready for the alpha strike that he's going to do.
Trying to.
And as things are happening, the engineer is like blasts the water at the back. It's very aware of the situation going on, and when it sees you and the fight that's going on, it kind of like cringes back to see that you seem to be something's happening. It cringes back like it's getting ready to hide behind its metallic hand. Then it looks down, it realizes you're not doing anything, and the shoveler's passing right through you. It looks toward Father Cross, looks back toward Anne, and it's going to reach back and shut the door to Anne. That's it. Shut the door. Strength test. Shut it.
Wait, what?
You're out on the back platform, so it shuts the door on you.
I brought myself back inside.
You're on the edge. You after pushing the 2 off, you stood up, and so you were on the edge of the train. And so its action is to push the door shut.
Oh, that's a cute little paper door you're going to push in my face.
All right. And its action is to position itself back toward the door, toward where Anne is, and prepare. And that's it. It's getting a distance from Ollie. It's getting a distance from Father Cross. And this ends the round. And at this point in time, we go from 11 to 14 of the windows covered. Because the thing's in the car with you. It grows 3 every round.
At the end of the round, I'm paying 5 wind to upkeep Ghost, and I'm going to offset that 5 wind with that white chip.
Excellent call.
So Ollie just continues to focus. Nothing exists except for Ollie and his gun as he is in the zone.
Excellent. All right, let's do some quickness rolls.
How many cards does 24 get me?
Jesus.
5.
I want to end this. I want to end this on my terms. Let's do a red chip.
9, that's garbage.
So 38. How many cards does that give me?
You cannot go above 5. So there was no point in spending the red.
I still got an extra card.
You only get the 5. The 24 gave you 5.
Yeah, it maxes out at 5 cards. So yeah, you just get those chips back because you wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah, even if you had rolled a 100, you would have stopped at 5.
Yeah, because you need 5 to get 2. And then 15 more, putting you at 20, would give you 3 more.
All right. Settle for my 5 cards.
Hey, Rusty.
Wow.
Hey, Rusty.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. You may want to have Ollie take that half step back so he's not in the way of the door at the far end when it comes blasting through the train.
All right. That gets me. I dropped a white and a blue in this Mama Jama. That gets me a total of 15.
Nice.
So that is 4 cards? Right.
Mhm.
All righty.
You know what? I'm going to drop the red.
Are we all dropping chips on initiative to make sure to go?
I'm
first?
not, because I can't get any more cards.
Save those chips then. What's that?
That was the for me. It was the third of these 4 rounds where I was 1 point away from another action, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that again. Like I wanted to get just that one more damn card.
I've been getting my initial rolls have just been between 5 and 7.
I feel I just got 2 7s, and one of them has 4d10, and I still got a 7. So. All right.
I think that was enough to net me another card.
Well, we want you to have shitty rolls, Max. It's us we care about.
I know you do. James, you got a 6 plus a 3. That's a 9.
Okay, never
Not
mind.
a 10.
I don't.
You missed it by 1.
All right, and I only have white cards, or white chips. So, yeah.
Well. We start this round off with who has an ace.
Me.
Excellent. 2 of them.
Ollie. I've got the ace of clubs.
Ace
so
of
I
spades.
believe ladies first.
All right. I want to kick this door in and hit him with it.
So you want to kick the door in a direction that it flies and hits him?
Yeah, because you said he moved toward the door, right? Because he
Yes.
was like, all right. Oh, cute. All
So
right.
he's still in front of it.
Yeah, and he turned his back on me. Smart idea, buddy. Okay. So it's going to be strength or
Yes.
fighting or
It's going to be a brawl roll.
Gotcha.
Since you want to knock it into him, we want to make it a hard 9, so that way there's the successful removal of the door and it becomes a projectile that hits him. We're going to set the damage of a door to be D8.
Oh, that's gross. Let's add a red chip. There we go. 15.
Excellent. You knock off the door and you hit him with it. Roll a D8 for the door's damage and your normal strength. Since the thing has an armored hide, that goes from a D8 to a D6, so you'll be rolling a D6. I apologize. I'm going too slow. You're going much faster than me now.
So that's a 25 damage.
He wanted a D6 instead of a D8 because of
Oh, I'm
armor.
sorry.
No, my
so-
bad. We'll just call it a 6 because you had already rolled.
Okay.
So that's 23 damage. It has a size of an 8, so that's 2 points. Wounds to a location. Go ahead and roll a D20. And his upper guts. So yeah, you hit him in the back of the head area, chest, with the door for 23 points of damage, or 2 wounds of damage. Let me mark that down. Head. 2. That's actually pretty good. Now roll 2d6 for wind.
4.
Okay. All right. Yes, you do hit him with the door on your ace.
I'm gonna say as it hits him and like it just like barrels this door off its hinges and it hits him in the back of the head. I'm gonna go knock knock.
All right. Kings.
No, I'm actually still up on ace.
Oh.
Sorry.
You're right. Ace.
The ace of clubs. So, it's time to start doing some murder, I think. We've still got 3 shovelers up and the engineer, right?
1 shoveler. The other 2 of the 3 are gone. They were on the opposite train bit that Sarah removed. So she's taken out 3 of the 4 shovelers in total.
All right. And what range am I from a from the engineer's head? 'Cause I know he's been kind of twisting back and forth, or at
3
least rolling
meters,
back
3
and forth.
yards.
Okay.
So any of the guns we've all been using, you don't have any modifiers. You're within the first range.
Right. And how far can you move as like a move action for free?
You should have a pace.
Yep. What's your nimbleness, I believe?
Yeah, it's enough. But yeah, okay, never mind. I'm not gonna argue for the touching range bracket because I don't think he's ignoring me enough for it to be that automatic touching shot. But from where Ollie is, he is going to redraw his Lamont because he is done focusing. So we will start with this quick draw roll. Oh, I messed that one up. Sorry.
Oh, I see what you did.
There we go. So, Ollie blurs back into motion. The Lamont spins into his hand, and there's a metallic snick as he adjusts the angle of the hammer up top and is going to shoot the engineer in the back of the head, or the side of the head, I guess, because he angled weird, with the shotgun part of this Lamont, using it for the first time. So, here is the shot.
You're using a shotgun?
Yes.
Yes, using the shotgun part of his Lamont for the first time ever. Why is this not?
Yeah, what happened with that?
Like, that's not a...
It's not.
I forgot the K1.
Yep.
There we go. All right. So that's a 12 to hit.
Yes.
I
You are taking penalty for the head of -6.
already factored that in.
Adding 2 because of its size.
I did not add 2 because of its size,
14.
so that should be a 14.
Excellent. So I'm assuming you've got all the other modifiers for the Lamont, so we've got a 14. Yes. That's definitely a headshot.
All right.
He's going to drop a card. No. Yeah. You know, his focus is on Anne, who just blew open the door, so, yeah. You're
so is that a raise?
It's already a headshot, so raises don't do me any good, which is a weird downside of being good enough to call your shots. But that is a solid hit. So at this range, the damage is 5d6. The headshot would make it 7d6.
All right.
I've got +1 for Magnum Force, -1 for armor, staying at 7d6.
Yep.
Does that sound right?
That's exactly right.
And still getting to reroll ones because of Kentucky Windage, which is only on its third turn of 5. That is 34 points of damage, as there's a clap like thunder, and Ollie uses the underbarrel shotgun of the Lamont for the first time, crawling with power.
Is it scatter or solid?
Scatter, yeah. Just regular scattergun shot.
Nice.
Let's see, he's an 8. That's 4 wounds to his head.
Yes. Which would put him at 6, so he's going to drop a red chip to negate some of those.
All right, let me know when to roll wind and how much.
1 dice of wind.
Six.
Okay. It does. It rings out. It's thunderous. It tings off his headpiece. A bit of ichor splatters as the piece of metal shudders, and blood comes out around his facial area. But now there is a dent scoring the plate itself.
All right. And in the same action, because I've increased the rate of fire of this gun, Ollie will, with inhuman quickness, work the hammer of the gun and follow that up with a regular slug. Well, not slug. a regular 44 shot.
All right.
Also going to be a headshot. That will be a 12.
That's another headshot.
All right, and then this is 3d6 goes to 5d6. So 5d6, we roll on ones. $17 more points of damage to the head.
All right. That is 2. And it will drop a white chip to ignore one of those 2.
All right, so 1d6 in wind.
D6 in wind, yes.
5 more wind.
Whew. He's an exhausted mofo. Probably going to have to... I don't want to spend a blue chip on wind, but dear God, how much wind is a blue chip? It's 5, 10, 15?
Yes.
Sounds right.
Yeah, probably going to have to recoup that with one of his last blue chips. All right. Damn, that was good. His head injury has definitely come forward some. That was on a king, and now we got a queens. Anyone want to have queens?
I have a queen.
Spades.
Go for it. Mine's hard.
Okay, so I want to do that cinematic, like, slow walk with a little dip down to pick up my my tomahawks.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm just going to jump on this thing's back and start hacking and slashing.
All right.
$22.
Excellent. That is definitely a hit. He's going to try... We're just going to toss out his highest card so he can dodge you. But he's not actually dodging. He's going to use his brawling to keep you from succeeding. God, I hope this works. The bastard's got 6 dice in it. There we go. A 12! That dice roll is shit. Remember the Indian a couple of episodes who ran in 4 shots, just nothing above a 2? It's terrible. Right.
All that shooting wild.
Yep. So he fails. He tosses out a card and fails to block you from getting onto his back.
So I roll a d20?
No, you're on his back. You called it. So you had a penalty of 2 to do that. So he was trying to beat a 20. So now you're going to do damage.
All right. So
your tomahawks become D4s.
4d6, right?
4d4s.
Because of his armor.
Yeah. His armor rating drops your die type for the axes, but your strength damage still stays the same.
Well, I still got 14, which is pretty good
That's
for 44.
Actually a really good roll. I mean... Okay. And your strength?
Is 5d12 plus 2?
Mm-hmm.
That would be 39.
Of course it's 39. 1 point away from 5 wounds. He's going to drop a blue chip to ignore some of these wounds.
Red chips to add to his wounds?
Yes. We can play this game.
If you drop the red chip, you'll have to decide if it's going to your strength or
strength.
Because you're wanting to add to your damage roll.
Yeah. So I'm going to add to my strength. So I'm going to roll another d12.
Yep.
Oh, that's a bitch one. Let's use another red chip.
But it moves you from a 39 to a 40, which brings it to another wound, which is 5 wounds.
Oh, that's true. Which is the most I can get, right?
No. You can get way more than 5 wounds.
Yeah, but he's since he dropped the blue chip to ignore wounds, he's taking 2 wounds right now.
Yes, you just moved it from 1 wound to 2 wounds.
It's the end of the session. We're going to go for it.
Okay. I'm not going to stop you.
Here's another 14 for you. So now I'm at 40, 45, 55.
So that 1 adds on another wound because of his massive size. So
Okay. I'll stop there.
I hope so. You're running low on chips.
What, seven wounds before he uses chips?
That is correct.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's all right.
So roll 3d6 in wind.
14.
Okay, noted. Wow. Oh, and we're still in Queens, right? Was that Queens? No, that wasn't Queens.
Yeah, it was Queen.
Yeah, that's Queens.
James?
All right. Do I have to spend a card to get up?
No, but it's part of your pace. Your pace is what gets you up off the ground.
Okay. I'm standing up. And what was Blake using as far as firearm?
Officer naval pistol.
All right.
I think that's a 44.
That's a 44. All right. You know what?
What's she gonna do?
I'm gonna drop my peacemakers next to him. Let's see. One of them still has 5. The other one has 3 in it. And
how many bullets does a peacemaker have? Because you fired one 4 times and the other one 2 times.
Hold on.
6 bullets, right?
Okay, I've got 1 in one and 3 in the other. All right. And I'm going to cast Smite.
Yes, Smitey Smites.
Well, what this does is for the success and every raise after it, it increases my strength by 1 die type.
I'm going to slide back over because we're getting close to 7 o'clock so people can see our smiley faces. But yeah, I'm sure they're tired of looking at cards and chips because that's a massive pile right there.
That's a mess.
Yeah, we've been busy. We've been busy.
Yeah. Very busy. Nine. You know what? I'm gonna drop a white on there. Just see if I can get above.
Yeah, you have yet to have a die like really blow open for. Well, no, you did have one faith that was like a.
That was a guts check.
Oh, was it? Yeah. So you're for 6d12s, you keep getting the 8 and 9 and stuff.
Yeah, and this is the first time because my faith checks are where I usually get the high end stuff.
Yeah, you're due.
Woo!
All right. So my my strength is going up by 1 die type from 3d8 to 3d10s.
So impressive. That was sarcasm. Because, I mean, next to Miss McDade, you're adorable. So what are you doing with... Is that it? Do you get up and you get stronger? You Hulk out?
Yeah, but on my next action, things are going to get a little more interesting.
Are you remembering to take a -3 due to the pain of your right hand that got crushed?
Yes, but...
Just making sure.
Actually... I'm only at a -2 because if you remember, I dropped the chip to absorb some of the damage.
Oh, that's right. You did. White chip. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. That's it for the Queens. We're moving on to Jacks.
Jack of clubs.
Jack of clubs as well. The shoveler, angry at the fact he can't hit Rusty's character, is charging the priest, who is now hulked out for some reason. Like, what's up with that? The hulking out thing. It doesn't know. It's just going to shovel you. go into its shovel skill. Oh, look,
Oh,
there's its
yeah.
shovel skill. Bam, a 22. Yes. Shoveling the
All
priest.
right.
Shoveling a
Well,
good old priest.
I
Hit him in
want
the
to
head
see
with a
if
big old shovel. Shoveling a priest. I don't know how to rhyme that with... What's a word that rhymes with shovel?
I feel like you have a little bit of latitude there. You could go double or bubble, something like that, if you keep it
Struggle.
going.
Okay, I am quick drawing my force amplification mace, and since he's coming at me, I'm switching targets and I'm going to swing it at him.
Okay, it's not your action, and you can quick draw when it's not your action, but you still need to drop a card to block his attack or dodge. Otherwise, he's going to hit you with a shovel, and the location's going to be 17, 3 up from that. It's a 5, and 5 is going to be... No, he's going to hit your legs. He's going to try to take your leg out because he hates your leg.
All right.
So
He can't hit anything above that.
yeah, of course. I mean, like, well, no, actually, it can go into the guts, but you know, if he takes you to the ground, then he can shovel you in the face while you're laying down. So yeah, he's going to hit you in the leg with a 22. You got to get better than a 22 to dodge this, and I'm assuming since
I
you're
only
quick
have
drawing,
one card. I only have the one card
and
for.
you're getting hit in the legs with a shovel. Oh my
Yep.
god. Let's see. It's only 2d6 for the shovel's damage, no extra. So that's 3. Look at that. Wonderful 3 from the shovel. Let's do their strength. Fucking Jesus Christ. That 22 is like the grand opera of rolls for me tonight. You know, that was the big thing. That was the Michael Jackson moment. Where's their strength? Now, they have a lot of strength because they do a lot of digging, but I gotta find it. I don't think it's got it. There it was. Oh, shit.
So 20 points, pretty palpable hit.
3 wounds to a leg.
2.
2 wounds to a leg. And 7 wind.
I am going actually re-roll that. I'm gonna drop my last chip to absorb one of the wounds.
I'm fine with that. It's a change in the positive direction. Numbers is averaging out pretty good. Finally, the shoveler is looking like this team shovel your face is actually worthwhile. Oh man, audience, these guys are a handful. Not the characters, the bad guys. Oh my goodness. So that was on Jack. Anybody else have Jacks?
All right, so since he went right before I did.
What card are you throwing down?
The Jack of Clubs.
Right.
We have the same card, but
Right.
you started going through yours, so I was waiting.
Ah, well, that's fair. It's supposed to happen at the same time.
Okay. So I'm quick drawing my force amplification mace.
Bam, done.
Succeeds, and I am going to swing on him. There it is.
He's not dodging because he's got no cards. All the cards I got left is the engineers. Didn't somebody use a red chip just recently? Because I only got 1 chip here. Oh, no, I got a white chip and then I used it to... Yeah,
You kept dropping chips
I have
because
been. You guys are just not relenting on this guy.
7 to hit him.
Yeah, that definitely hits. Man, if somebody would just defeat the stream boss, the trail boss, and give me some chips, wouldn't that be wonderful? I would like it a lot. I'm sure the players might like that too, but they seem to be doing fine.
Yeah, no.
All right. James, damage because you
No
hit
chips,
in location.
Location is right arm.
Mm-hmm.
27 damage total.
Yeah, his size is a 4, so that's at least 6 wounds right there.
Yep.
Yeah, look, Radio, if it's going to cost like $50, don't do it. I appreciate it. I really do. I would be so happy about that, but no, man. It's good. All right, so like 6 points of damage to his right arm. You just take it off. It's gone. One-handed shoveling for the rest of his life.
Does he drop the shovel is the fun part.
No, it's a two-handed weapon, so he's got it held in two hands, but you knock one off, and so he's like, ah, screaming at you now. And the fact that he is like, disarmed or single combat. 10. 9.
I have a 10.
Ooh, a 10.
Yeah. All right, so I jumped on this thing's back and dug this in, and I'm just gonna like use this to like crawl up his back and keep like cutting into him as I'm like mountain climbing up him.
Sure. Now, of course, crawling up his back and stuff like that, that's no real dice rolls. That's just a pace maneuver. Yeah, you're right. That has gone out the roof. But he will still try to defend himself. Even though you're on his back, he will still be swinging behind him to try to knock you off or block the attacks.
Well, since I'm doing it like every time I'm climbing, I'm carving the tomahawk into him again, just a little higher up. It's still an attack.
I will keep that in mind, Radio, when I set these numbers up, because I could have swore it's not that many bits to do that. I will fix that. That's excessive, in my opinion, because I don't see any of that. And if I do, I don't know where it's going. Your first card, your first tomahawk attack. He will,
Yep.
Yep.
Here we go.
Yep. He's going to drop a card to defend, i.e., swing behind him and knock you off. Did you roll?
I'm about to.
Okay. I'm just making sure I didn't miss it, like it had paused on me or something.
14.
14. All right. So I'm going to make him get... If he gets 4 higher than your 14, then he's knocked you off in an attempt to clear you off his back. Where did the dice... There. That's not it. That's not it. We'll just do that. I'm going to do that. 13! No! He does block your attack. He's reached back and he's trying to grab a hold of your hatchet, and he's like bending his arms and he's twisting his body in a way to like put his hand back there and swat towards you to block your attacks as you're hanging on to him.
Okay, so I can do my other attack then?
Yes.
We've got an open roof train, huh?
Nope.
Oh, by the way, that 20 that I rolled after doing the damage, that was the wind.
He lost
Since you
Oh,
said-
right.
Let's add a blue chip to that.
Go for it.
Definitely.
$15.
All right, hit. He's not going to attempt to block that one because you're. I'm assuming that you're chopping with one, and then wait. So how are you holding onto his back? With.
So I'm holding on to the tomahawks.
Yes.
And then as I drill each tomahawk in, I'm getting that like foothold to then do it with my other hand.
Using them like ice axes.
So
There you go. Yeah.
Exactly.
you won't be able to get a secondary. We're gonna pause here with the first tomahawk pinned in. You can't get any more height as you're trying to swing up to get in, and he is thrashing around and thrashing, trying to keep you from doing that. So a secondary swing wouldn't have happened unless the first one had succeeded, such as stabbing
shit.
and pulling
Okay.
yourself up. So,
All right.
and you still have 2 more cards, which, by the way, he has 1 card, but that's metagaming at the finest right there. You can
Okay.
only at least block 1 more. All right. And that was on a 10, so 9. Oh, I wonder who could go now.
Also me. All right, so I'm going to do what I was doing before again.
All right.
I've got white chips left, and we're like at the end of the stream, so let's go ahead and just go all in.
Okay. Going all in. Holy
How many
shit.
white chips is that?
3, so I'm rolling 7d12.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And the best one was the second die that you rolled. Oof.
I'm real upset. I'm real unhappy here.
I'm going to
The
go
good
ahead.
news is that's a hit.
That's a hit.
Unless he defends.
He's defending with his last card. He's dropping a 6, and he's going to roll some happy dice here. Crossing my fingers because he's only got one chip left. A 12. As you jump up, tomahawk the first time, come to tomahawk a second time, his arms crink back, and the elbow moves in odd ways, and he begins swiping towards you. And so as you swing from left to right, swatting at hands coming at you, you go to strike in, and you clasp the metal as the hand it hits. You pull back for a moment, and he does too, reaching for you. You pull yourself up to reach higher, and his other arm rotates in an unhumanly way to like grapple a hold of the tomahawk, or at least block the tomahawk's blow. And so there's sparks flying and whatnot, and this, to the onlookers, this thing is thrashing around. It looks like a terrible carnival ride going crazy at this point in time. All you can see is Miss McDade's legs every once in a while swinging around.
My ankles are showing.
Oh no.
The blood dripping down them is a little off-putting.
I have no cards left. Rusty, it's all you.
All right. I managed to draw a pair of 6s in initiative. So the first one, I am going to use my reload trick, which is a special type of hex, and it's going to hopefully get me a shotgun shell and 2 bullets loaded from my gun belt onto my thing.
Okay.
So with this, I roll it with the appropriate trait. It works kind of like a hex thing. So typically 9, typically 5, and 9 is kind of garbage. So it's 2 draws, 1 second. All right. So I get to draw 2 cards. I got the Queen of Diamonds and 9 of Spades. Mm-hmm. If you draw any red cards, the trick is a success. So what happens is Ollie just gives the gun a twirl around around his trigger finger, and there's a weird metallic snack from his belt, and he's able to load 3 shots into it. So we'll make that the shotgun shell and then 2 regular shots. And then Ollie is up with the 6 of diamonds. And 1 second, because Deadlands just kicked me out. So let me relaunch Deadlands here on Roll20.
Oh, no.
A moment after the last boom of thunder from the shotgun and then the metallic snack of the regular shot, there's going to be another inhumanly quick boom snack as he does another impossibly fast shotgun blast followed up by a regular shot.
Okay, let's see some rolls.
Ollie is going to steadfastly advance on this guy, and I'm going to try and get the touching range damage, because Ollie's insubstantial and there's really nothing it can do to stop it. And because it's busy with Miss McDade and both of its arms are behind its back, Max, I'm going to argue that I can get the touching range instead of the 1 to 10 range.
I can't disagree with you. It makes perfect sense.
Glad to help
All
you,
right.
buddy.
So Ollie just methodically twirls the gun once and just walks right up to it, and we will blast him.
This might hurt.
And with the bonus for size, a total of a +3. So 11 to hit, but that is a hit.
Yep.
Called shot to the head.
Has no
So,
coverage.
so 6d6 becomes 8d6 The armor and my magnum force balance out, so 8d6 re-rolling ones.
Let's see that.
37.
Wow. Another 4 damage.
Well, it will definitely be dropping its final blue chip onto this.
All right, 1 damage to its head. What's it at now on its head?
I'm not telling you. That's metagaming.
4 wind.
Boom! This one knocks out jaw and teeth as it whirls around, sees how close you are.
All right, and then here's the follow-up shot with the regular 44 bullet. 16 to hit, also a called shot to the head.
Yep. Good. Does not have any chips left to throw at this.
And that makes it 20 to the head.
This shot fires as you shoot off a chunk of its jaw, and it faces back in the direction to where you're at, and it pauses for a moment and it staggers. Miss McDade has a chance to now balance herself. I'm assuming that 6 of clubs she has, she'll be able to initiate a coup de grace as your bullet goes straight down its midsection for another 3 points of damage. It staggers and down it, because you're shooting down its head. It's looking at you. So it goes down into its head. Blood, bits burst. It staggers forward. Parts of it are oozing out. It's beginning to lower itself to the ground as it's losing not only steam, literally, but blood. Final card. Anne.
Okay. All right. So, taking advantage of what Ollie's doing, I'm going to go ahead and try to draw those tomahawks across it and open it on up. Let that spill on out.
All right. No need for dice rolling, as it is winded. The tomahawk strikes dig deep into it, and
I just wanted to see what I'd get.
I appreciate that too. So let's go ahead, and if you want to see how it looks, we can do that, because this game is about crunchy numbers. Let me not take that away from you.
So we're going for like a decapitation here? Is what's...
Yeah, let's do it.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm going to roll my 2d6
Yes.
for my tomahawks. Plus my strength.
After what happened earlier, you should be using a shovel.
It's 15. I've had better damages, but that's all right.
And the other tomahawk?
That's right. I get 2 of them. $13 to hit. Ooh, 3 on the tomahawks. That's ookie.
Man, you're rolling like Max.
I know, right?
My roll 20's tired. 13.
So 16,
16.
would still be 2 more wounds, though. So, like, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so yes, as it slumps to the ground, you deftly run up the remnants of its back, and with 2 opposing swipes, you sever it at its bone/metal spine that's slightly jutting out of its tissue. The metallic cap falls off, rolls forward onto the ground in front of Ollie, and the head just kind of droops down, now severed from the rest of the body and just held on by a few bits and pieces of flesh. Steam is rolling out of its torso through its neck, and so it's making like a gurgling sound. The room has become incredibly dark, and as you guys are reeling at this point in time, Father Cross, Cody, and Dwight are yelling, "We have to go, we have to go," a lot. You two are in the moment as it's all going on, and you barely can hear their voices echoing in the distance. Father Cross, what would you like to do?
Since I got this one in front of me, You know what? I'm going to swing down right on its head.
All right. Okay, Ollie. The ringing, the sound, the explosions, and everything. Make a cognition check.
Okay. That is 3d6.
Okay. Target number is at this point, honor 7.
That will not do it. That's
You
a
are
4.
reeling from the moment, and Anne, you as well. Cognition check, honor
That's
7.
my best one. Actually, since I'm in Berserker mode, I get a -2 to it. So -2 to that is 3.
Right. You guys are all caught up in the fight as this round is coming to an end and Father Cross is smashing the shoveler. The final window gets covered up by the growth on the outside of the train. Dwight and Cody are currently fighting with the opening as it's sealing at this point, and they are trying to get through. Blake is yelling, so all the brothers are by the door yelling at you guys, "This way, come on, something's happening, you gotta get out of here." And they are fighting to pull themselves through the opening as it seals shut.
Like with flesh again?
With flesh.
Or okay, yeah, that's gross.
All right. The flesh covers the doorway. The ringing's come to a stop. The round has finally come to an end because at the end of the round it was at least going to move one and it only had one window left to go, i.e. covering the rest of the car. You guys find yourselves in a completely dark train. Only red light ebbs through cracks and crevices in the holes that have been put in by this creature thrashing around and your gunfire. What do you want to do?
Like, are we... Ollie can move through stuff still right now.
Yes, that's right.
So Ollie would like to get to the other side of that fleshy membrane.
Sure.
He could walk through the wall, whatever. And then he's going to unghost on the other side and start using the Texas Rangers Bowie knife to start trying to, cut it open from that side while hopefully other people can cut it open from the inside, just gonna get himself through.
All right.
And then start it.
Father Cross, you smash this thing's head in. You turn and look around. The room is completely dark. Everyone's... You see the situation of who is here. What do you want to do?
All right. Since I know where I dropped my peacemakers, I'm going to pick them up, holster them, and Miss McDade, we need to leave.
All right. Anne, you've got your tomahawks. The world's coming back in around you. You see Ollie. He runs to the other end of the train and passes through the fleshy wall that you've ripped apart once before. And Father Cross is yelling at you about leaving and whatnot. And at this point in time, with the fleshy wall appears, that wiggling sensation in your stomach feels pretty comfortable. It feels like it's saying to you, I'm okay with being here. We don't have to go back.
So, what about the cars behind us? They're
gone.
We're with all the passengers and stuff?
You mean the cars in front of you?
Oh, yeah.
They're beyond a fleshy wall.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go that way.
Okay, so the thing that lives inside you tells you, no, wait, we're home. We're at my home now. You can stay here with me.
Can we make a spirit roll?
What's your spirit again?
That's metagaming.
Because, fine, I'll just give myself some numbers.
No!
7D 20.
No! It's 40-10. 40-10.
No, we don't have to go.
Oof.
Ooh. I have no chips to throw this, and the defender wins.
Oh, yay! I win! Yeah, we're gonna go
Just barely.
toward the passengers.
All right. Ollie, you step through the fleshy wall. Beyond the fleshy wall, you do see the rest of the train. It's bathed in crimson light. The surrounding territory is on fire. The ground is ashen and black, and you can hear what sounds like people screaming every once in a while. Dark shadows pass overhead of things with leathery wings. You see 2 suns and 1 moon, and this world does not look like anything you recognize.
So it sounds like maybe I went the wrong way to escape.
You were heading back to where everyone else was on the train.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go back to hell.
Yeah.
So you were
I
heading...
am legitimately not sure what the good guy move is here. Because I feel like if I don't try to open this, I'm leaving the party behind.
Fair.
Right? My brothers and the other PCs that I've grown close with, including the spiritual bastion of Father Cross. But the everyone else that like should be in this fucking train car is also like the nun that raised me and my new French card-slinging girlfriend, who now in my head is basically She-Gambit when I put it like that. So I feel like, I'm going to carve this membrane and try to like get everyone together.
All right. Carving the membrane open, you will reveal back the car you just left behind. Father Cross and Anne come out. Father Cross looks pretty fucked up. He's got some damage. Anne looks just fine. The 2 of them head towards you quickly. You guys can easily see into the next car, which is the business class car. And it is not what you would be expecting. There are no people in the business class car. There is all the items, tables, chairs, bars, drinking implements, and whatnot. Rooms and doors that you can see, but no one's there. No one that you know should be there in this weird world. And as the 2 of you, Father Cross and Anne, step out into this little area where between the 2 cars with Ollie, you too see the same desolate wastelands. Father Cross, you can make a knowledge academia.
Ollie will give the Texas Ranger Bowie knife like a spin by the ring guard on it, and stick it back in his belt, and just kind of. I reckon we ought to maybe stay pretty close, y'all. And like that's his only thought here is like none of us should be alone in this place.
8.
By all accounts, you have probably moved on to the happy hunting ground. Indian folklore speaks of another place where dark things roam and the world is not familiar. And by descriptions, the Indians describe it or talk about it. The happy hunting ground definitely would be reminiscent of the Christian hell in some degrees, in some of the more horrid places or corrupt.
All right. I look around and I go, all right, everyone needs to stick together. I do believe we are in the place the Indians call the hunting grounds. We are not safe.
Well, how do we get everybody else out of here?
That's a good question. I don't think they are here. I think they're still on the train we boarded. But let's check just in case. I'm going to start moving through all the way to the engine.
Okay.
Search the cars.
Okay, so you're just walking through. She's searching the cars. Ollie?
Ollie will reload his Lamont and follow them.
Okay.
Actually, that's a good idea. I think I'll actually
So for
reload
you
my
two,
peacemakers.
Father Cross is like, I don't think they're here. They're probably. We need to look for them. He starts wandering off, and then he stops, and he's like, "Oh yeah, sir, we should reload." You definitely can tell Father Cross is not okay at this time. Not only have his injuries caught up to him, he is like mentally wandering. He has no focus or direction. And you see this, but your concern is others and finding people. You walk through the business section of the dining car where the bar is at and stuff and begin looking for anything. This car looks like it's never actually been occupied for a long period of time. There's dust everywhere. There's blood stains that don't make any sense that you know weren't there beforehand. Maybe something happened. You don't know. As you begin moving through cars, make your cognition check. Your target number is a fair 5. Because you're searching actively.
That's a 1.
That's a 1. Oh man. All right. You head through the rest of the business car, and the first class car. The business car. You move through the business car through the small area, and you get into the next. And you're heading to the next car. There is no membrane. There's nothing to bust through. There's just the doors to open, and when you go to open this door, you know you damaged this to seal it shut, but you notice that there's no damage here. So this door has never been crunched by you.
And what's outside the windows?
When you look outside, you see the first class car ahead of you. The car that you're staying in.
All right, I'll go check that one.
Okay.
Yeah. I imagine we're about, I'd say we were distracted for 1 car's worth as we were reloading and walking. But yeah, I think I'll start in on the cognition rolls on this next one.
Sure. Father Cross, on the other hand, has dropped a few bullets. He's followed behind you guys. I'm just going to say it because, James, you seem very non-cognitive of stuff. You're just like walking, he's reloading, He's dropped a few bullets. We got to keep moving. And he keeps mumbling to himself at this point in time.
I'm trying to, even though it's there at the forefront of my brain, me quoting off everything that I learned about the hunting grounds, whether from my order or from Indians that I had met, it's actually coming out in bits and pieces. Like I'll say like half a bit of information and then skip to like, page 37 and then back to page 3 and back and forth.
Maybe a prayer
like,
of some type.
Yeah, and then I'll stop, say a prayer and stop and go, no, that's grace. And, my brain is all over the place.
Because you took 3 wounds to the leg, 2 wounds to the hands.
Yeah, and part of it is not so much the wounds, but the fact that the reality of where we are is setting in.
Okay. Cognition check from both Sarah and Rusty as you walk into the first class car.
Alrighty.
Why do you keep embarrassing me with these rolls?
I'm enjoying the fact that your dump stat was your cognition.
Hey, back in these days, I didn't get much educating.
Okay.
I mean, something has to be a dump stat. That's a 9 for me.
All right, as you guys move, at some point, Father Cross, as you guys are walking into the first class, the area, this is the fancier bar. This is a couple of other like sitting areas and stuff like that. And as you move in here, you go to the little side walkway and you get there. Father Cross stops. He leans against the wall, and he's now just standing in one spot muttering as you guys are walking down the hallway. Both Ollie and Anne notice from Anne's room. No, Ollie and Anne both notice from Lorraine's room there is a glow of whitish light ebbing out above and beyond and piercing through the dark red glow.
Lorraine! Ollie takes off at a trot. Like, just doink! Goes running towards it.
I'll be right behind him.
Do you look through the door? Because the curtains are pulled.
Yeah, and he'll run up to it and he'll keep his gun in his right hand because he's not going to reholster that just yet. But yeah, he'll like jerk the curtain open with his left hand.
Okay. Looking into the car, you see those markings from a day and a half ago or 2 days ago on the floor of her room, which you saw when you were in there the other day, the remnants of them. But now you can definitely see that they have an illumination in the train car cabin. They are brilliant. They are vibrant.
Padre, come look at this. I think the rain left this for us. It looks, I don't know, it looks kind of holy to me. He's not going to touch it yet.
Okay.
But you guys can tell he's like, maybe this is the way out, but let's check with the people smarter than me, which in Ollie's case, he tends to think of as everybody, which is not true. He's actually got pretty good stats, but, you know.
All right, Father Cross.
All right. You know what? Since I'm sort of wrapped up in my own head at the moment, even though he's yelling for me, I'm thinking I should actually make a cognition check to see if his yell actually breaks me from my own thoughts.
Sure.
I don't know if it might. I've got the soothing voice. If that's any help, while calling out potentially good news.
I was going to say 7.
I heard it.
Oh, I was going to say 7, but we'll break it down to a 5. But he got a 25. Remember, you still have a penalty from your wounds, so it's actually 22.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me borrow that. All right. His voice snapping me out of that. And refocusing me, I just look around. I will slot that last bullet, snap the cylinder back in, and holster the peacemaker. Right now I'm going to keep the mace in hand, but I'm going to carry it over one shoulder in my good hand at the moment. And I'm going to move up as I'm looking back and forth. I'm still pale and still have a little bit of concern on my face, but I do seem more focused. And I look at him and I look in. And looking at the circle, I say, well, she did say it was a circle of protection. All right. And it was a ward. Mm-hmm. I've seen things that
as he's
talking, have to believe her.
I don't like all this, so as he's talking, I'm just going to push him in the circle.
Okay, I was going to step in.
Right, you're in the circle.
Anyways, but
it illuminates around him. No physical change or change to the father in any way, shape, or form.
Oh.
You feel better, or do you think you could think real hard and get back on the right train or something?
I think about it a moment, and just rumors and stuff that, probably the order has said, well, that we've decided that doesn't actually exist because we haven't found any proof of it.
Right.
I'm going to try something. I'm actually going to kneel down on one knee with the mace down to help steady me. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to say, Lorraine, can you hear me? Hoping that since she's the one that made the circle, she may have some connection still to it.
No, nothing happens. Nothing mystical. This isn't a two-way telephone or anything. If she heard you, she can't hear her back.
All right. I look back and forth and I look at them and I go, all right.
Your cognition allows you to make a academia roll.
All right.
Because you're paying attention to your surroundings.
6.
From your understanding of how these archaic and dangerous magics work, and from your studying, this circle isn't finished. There are bits and pieces of it that have not been completed. You're not sure if this is protection because your knowledge of this shit is weak. This is not your forte. You're a holy man, not whatever. But it is not finished. If you had some more instructions, like a book or something that tells you what to do, you could finish it, if that was to help anything.
Did either of you see a journal or something she was working out of?
She had a book. She got real concerned when the Pinkertons took it.
Out of character, didn't we give that back to her? Like it's been like a couple
Yeah,
months.
she had it. She got it back.
All right. Did Ollie see it in her room? Where in her room should it be?
She actually showed him the book.
That's correct.
Yeah, like she was giving me some lessons and stuff. Well, not lessons, but talking about it.
And she was flipping through the pages, talking about certain things within the book. I remember that because Max actually went through that with you.
So, like where should the book be on this plane? And or do I remember how to finish this circle?
The answer is...
Go ahead. Go ahead. I was going to say, if during our fade to black, she had idly pointed to the ward of protection and, mentioned how to finish it or something.
I am standing up, and I, as they're both answering me, and I say, this is not finished. I don't know how to finish it, but it's not finished.
Thinking on that, yes. If her stuff is in this room, which it is, and the book is in there, which when you look, you do find it, and you begin thumbing through the pages. Ollie, you can make an academia roll. I'm going to make this at a hard 9.
Okay. Let's see here.
I would roll it before considering chip.
Right. It's not necessarily the chip thing. It's like with Envision, I can see through stuff enough to cheat at cards by seeing the other side of somebody's poker hand.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way that I can use that to skim the book more quickly and find what I'm looking for?
I imagine so. But it's not going to help you finish the circle perfectly. But yes, you could see through the book and be like, is this it? There it is. And immediately turn.
All right. So he at least gets to open it really cool to that page that he's looking for.
Fuck yeah.
So, all right. Here is an occult roll then.
Do you have any injuries or penalties that will affect this?
Shouldn't be.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if I roll that garbage. But I mean, I've got occult academia, which I was assuming would be what you wanted.
I do. Yep.
That's pretty garbage roll though. So let's trickle out a white chip. And these can be spent one at a time, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Got better.
All right. Here's another white chip. All right. Here's my last white chip. Are you kidding me?
That sucks.
I tried, y'all.
Ollie opens the book and begins dabbling in the attempts to utilize the materials inside of her bag to do so. James, you can assist with your academia, but it's outside your forte, so you suffer a -4 penalty.
A -4?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to input any modifiers. It's just going to be a -7 to whatever comes up.
A -7? Oh yeah, because you're wounded and stuff. That hurts on knowledge checks too.
Yeah, it's a
Like
penalty
it's not
to
just
everything.
It's
All right.
everything.
Liquid courage would solve that problem for the pain.
Because mentally and socially you're being distracted by the pain.
Sure. I mean, and your concussion or whatever, I guess. So, all right.
Here goes. Oh my goodness.
I have a 7.
All right. The two of them begin fumbling with the instructions, and they are trying to follow it. Not only is their French bad, but their ability to like work through this is bad. Even though there are decent pictures, as you two.
In Ollie's defense, the book wasn't really what he was paying attention to last night, so he's got that excuse at least.
As you two, and so so we've got the dice roll out of the way. This is how it moves forward. Ollie, you pull as you're like, Father Cross stands up and he makes this statement about this isn't finished. Something's up with that. If we could finish this, it might be able to help us. You reach into the bag because you can see into the bag. You pull out the book, you open the book right to it, and you begin looking at it. And you realize that as you see it, all you can smell is Lorraine. As you're holding the book, all you can think about is Lorraine's voice. As you're standing there for like a good solid second or two, you realize that you're not alone, that everybody's watching you, and this is a tense moment where Ollie can't shoot his way out. And so there's a lot of like stress. And Father Cross, you can see it as Ollie's hand kind of like starts to shake just a little bit. Maybe it's out of fear or fatigue. You step in and begin looking at it. What he's opened the page to isn't something relating to protection. At least your Latin carries you through enough. This is like a doorway. This isn't protection. But looking at other pictures in the book, there are protection. This has been changed. If this was meant to be protection, it's not anymore. So you begin working. Reading through it, it's a two-way thing. Someone on one side has to set it up so that somebody on the other side can finish it. And the two of you begin working. And what do you want to do as the two of them are playing paint with glowing paint on the, they're doing paint by numbers on the floor?
I'm still, like, on the off chance that, like, someone's stuck here with us. I tell them, take your time doing what you need to do, but I'm going to check out, make sure we're the only ones alone, and head all the way up to the front of the train.
All right. So as they're busy doing that, we're going to segue to what's at the front of the train, because this was a nice little description. The train is cutting through a horribly fiery, decimated countryside. The tracks are rigid, they're broken, the train jostles every once in a while. When you get to the engine itself, there is no one guiding it. It is all the controls are on, and there is a huge pile of ghost rock burning in the furnace. And you can see that the suns, the two strange colored suns, are beginning to set in the horizon. And what it looks like is the train is heading toward a mountain, and you can see that the mountain is a tunnel that is illuminated. There's a bunch of like buildings and structures around it. So wherever you're going doesn't look like Dodge, because Dodge isn't in the mountains, it's near mountains. And so the train's not slowing down. You probably have at least 30 minutes or so before the train rushes through the next coming station with no one controlling the engine.
Because I can't resist, even though I know it's not going to do anything, I like push some of the buttons that look like they would slow or turn off the train.
The whistle goes off.
Oh yeah, I finally got to make the whistle go.
It sounds like terrible, horrible screams. I can't do it. It's like,
Yay!
you guys are in the middle of doing stuff, and you're like, we got to do this. Where'd Anne go? Wah!
Now, which one is Wittershins again? Oh, what the hell is that?
Please, do not say hell when we're already here. Let's keep working.
Wait, we're what? You said this was a hunting ground.
It is, but let's put it this way. This is somewhere between purgatory and hell, all right?
Well, what the hell are you doing here?
I took a wrong turn, remember?
The final
We're on the
symbols
same
begin
train.
to glow. As the two of you banter about what's going on, the final symbols begin to glow. things begin to rock and shake. And as you're making your way back toward the other car, you notice the first-class car is beginning to illuminate in what would be described as a holy light.
I kind of nod and quicken my pace, like, all right, they're doing whatever intelligent mojo shit they're doing, and man, Sarah's coming out to play more than Anna today.
Ollie will lean out into the hallway and holler, "Miss McDade, I don't know, I think it's working."
All right, I'm right here.
You rush back into the room. Everybody collects into the room as the ruins begin to make illumination and symbols begin dancing across the walls and ceiling. The shades begin to all drop down and lock in almost a still position against windows and the doors. The doors slam shut to the room itself. The three of you are locked in. There is a tremendous amount of noise. The light outside the window becomes brighter and brighter and brighter. And then you can hear the sound of steel on steel squelching and screaming as the brakes are being applied. After a moment or two, you hear a loud voice boom. "All right, everybody, begin gathering your things." What do you guys want to do?
Open the door and look in the hallway.
I start saying a prayer of thanks.
Opening the door, we look into the hallway and fade to light. Bam. This has been a really fun game. I've definitely had a blast running it. I thought about this kind of like train Deadlands game a long time ago, and I liked it. And I never had a chance to do it, and then Rusty was like, run a Deadlands. I'm like, oh, yeah, definitely, I'll do it, dude, I'll do it. And he's like, when? I was like, just give me a second. And we did. We found a chance to do it. And it's been a blast the last few months doing this, guys. I really have had fun.
Me too.
Same.
Yeah, had a good time.
For shits and giggles, bounty-wise, 10 bounty at the end of this. So write it on your character sheet.
Hell yeah.
Nobody's got chips left, so you can't cash any in. And we definitely want to save onto these characters if we find the time and story to do something else. And there are a variety of stories that come with the old Deadlands works. I'd like to thank each one of you individually for sticking out this storyline. James, you have definitely been a help with your lawyering of the rules because you know what you're doing and keeping up with it. Your role-playing skills are excellent. I've definitely been happy about having you on board.
Thank you.
Sarah, it has been a blast. Your portrayal of Anna and the story that you brought to my table with that character was like, I don't even know. And, so there was a lot of questions in my mind of what to do next or how to do it. And, I think, like you blew that character out of the water as far as it goes for everything.
Oh, thank you.
She was my favorite of everybody.
Thank you.
And Rusty, dude, first chance to get a chance to play with you. And I was super stoked because I've watched some of your shows. I'm going to fanboy here for a moment is like, wow, there's some good stuff. And so for me to have you in my game was definitely a blast. And you brought a serious level of creativity to your character, to the atmosphere of your character. It was super awesome.
Well, thanks, man. It's been a pleasure to game with you. So, anytime schedules line up, I'm down.
Excellent. With that said, to the audience, thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to go through our ending bits where we talk about stuff that we're doing. I'm going to pass it over to my players real quick because I know Rusty and Sarah both have stuff. We'll start with Sarah first.
All right, guys. Sad to be coming to an end, but there's some other great things in the works. We've got, we just had yesterday week 3 of our D&D episodical series that just started. So we're doing little short, manageable 2-hour sessions of Dungeons & Dragons, starting with the starter set adventure, which is Lost Mine of Phandelver. We want to bring a really beginner's level approach to getting into role-playing games and D&D in particular. So that's been a lot of fun. I love the cast. It's fantastic. And then The other thing, and you can catch that on YouTube. I'll drop that link. Or Tom is in the chat. I know he can drop the link too. Other than that, I've been talking for a long time about Chicago Shadows, and we are probably going to be dropping the release of the trailer next month. So this has been a 2+ year project for me, and to see it kind of winding down is pretty dang cool. So yeah, just really excited to see how y'all like it, and please follow us on social media so that you get to catch it as soon as it drops.
Rusty.
Yeah, I will be here next Sunday, and then every other Sunday after that. As always, we are right here on Twitch, though our is on the Shadowcaster Network, and we have a great time with A Song of Ice and Fire, which has been a really fun campaign that is definitely picking up some steam as we are nearing episode 30. We're almost done with what I called the prelude, which is all before what I had in mind for the actual campaign. But on a more kind of professional, earning money, selling a product front, I have a novella hitting in 3 days. So if you are a fan of my Shadowrun work, I'm going to drop a link in chat. You can pre-order this new novella, Chaser, which, by the way, the back end of it has a full preview chapter of my upcoming novel, which is also a Jimmy Kincaid story set in the Shadowrun universe. So it's a book that is chock full of Rusty and Jimmy Kincaid goodness. And yeah, just check out the chat, and I'll put the link there, and you can get that pre-order in, and you'll get the book as soon as it goes live in a couple days.
Awesome. I'm with Original Box Set. This is our Discord information. That's an invite. Come join us, hang out with us, say hi, look for games. We do casting calls as well as regular games. We have game masters there who are like, hey, let's hang out and do stuff. Of course, Sarah's working on getting more people online gaming and stuff. So it's like a big community kind of push to have that happen. This is my website. It's kind of not been in use, so we probably won't post that. I'm just not going to post it. I mean, I haven't even used a calendar for the last month. I need to stop doing that. But my wife makes soap, and she has an Etsy store. If you like soap, God, at this point in time in the world, I hope you like soap. She also does hand sanitizers. She has a variety of great smelling soaps and hand sanitizers that are D&D themed. You can log in, check it out, and create a character based upon the D&D theme of race, class, and alignment. Do so. It's kind of cool. It's not kind of cool. It's really cool. It's poor warding on my path.
Awesome.
It's totally awesome. You can hear her in the background. If she wants to come over and say hi on the final show. I've had a blast. And if you guys...
I'd like this. Hello. Okay.
Hi, Cassie.
Hey, Kathy.
Everybody
Hi,
said
Cassie.
hey. Definitely had a blast. Check us out on Discord. Look for other games that we're going to do, and definitely keep in touch. With that, I'd like to say goodnight to everybody and roll out my closing credits. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Nice.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
I'm going there, no more to